Hi everyone. So, since there's gonna be a lot of new players that are gonna play the Autobomber build, we are gonna upload a whole leveling VOD of me playing from a level 1 character all the way up until monoliths. And I'm gonna take my time with it. I'm gonna do everything I can to explain everything as needed along the way. And this is basically meant to be a way for me to be able to handhold you through the campaign if you're completely new to the game and would like to go a little bit faster. For this, we're gonna be using this loot filter, which can be found in both the description of this video and in written guide itself if you simply go tabs open. If you go to the bottom of the leveling guide all the way at the bottom, there's a link here. You simply click the link, it'll bring you to here, and then all you have to do here is simply click on exports, copy to clipboard, and then go in game, and then go to your settings, gameplay, and then simply go to filters, manage the filters, click the plus, paste, and then there you go. You have the leveling filter. Once you get to around level 80, level 90 or so, you are going to most likely want to swap over to Allie Sync, which I'll have a whole video in the description below that discusses exactly what this is, but it's meant to be more of an endgame filter you can customize yourself. So, yeah, that should pretty much hold your hand through everything you need to loot. For this, we're going to basically just follow through with exactly what is in the written guide, and I'm going to try to give you some tips and some advice as we go. There is going to be a build planner for the leveling section, and again, it's going to be in super high detail, so just follow along through with all that as you need to, and follow along with the leveling build planner, and then eventually swap over to the actual planner. The only caveat to this is going to be that I am doing this before Season 2 launches, so when it comes to Devouring Orb, I do not have access to the whole dot stuff, and I don't have access to a new passive tree, so I will be playing the old version of Devouring Orb. Once we can swap to it, I'm going to play the hit version of it with Chaotic Torrent. But I'm going to discuss everything from the dot perspective of the build, so you just listen to what I do, but not do as I say. But up until then, you should be able to one-to-one follow exactly what we do. So, with that, let's begin, and let's get going. So, first zone, you kind of just want to walk through. There's nothing you really want to kill in here. It's actually a waste of your time, too, because you can just hit level 2 in the next zone just fine. The only thing that we really want to go for is just hitting level 3 when we get to the first boss, just make it a little bit easier with hammer throw. But aside that, we just ignore everything. And yeah, we'll talk to chat. It's basically just going to be a stream VOD. So, you know, if you haven't watched an Allie stream, welcome to an Allie stream. You're about to experience what an Allie stream's like. But yeah, I'm going to take my time. Like I said, it's not going to be a speed run. I'm going to show you some speed run tech to go a little bit faster if you'd like to. But I'm not going to go at maximum potential. I'm going to take my time just so we can basically simulate what your run might look like, or to at least simulate something that's a little bit more reasonable for people to follow along with, and go from there. Yeah, 07, the YouTube frogs. I guess they kill the first pack because, yeah, it does give, like, a white item, right? Sorry, let me fix it. Alright, let's continue. Okay, a small thing you can do here. Kill these guys, specifically, because if you kill these, the rest of the orbs, eggs, whatever you want to call them, are going to chase you to the big guy. Ignore all this. These guys are going to fight here. They're going to kill each other, and you're going to get XP from it, even over here. And then everything else is going to follow you along all the way here. I guess we probably ran a little bit too far away. But they're all going to come over here. And then this guy's going to kill them for you. See, give them a second. I'll show up in this. We'll bring you level 2. Once you hit level 2, we can warp path the rest of these down. And here come all these guys. Warp path all this down. And then we talk this guy. Spam the option at the top. And then we send it. Okay, so here, all we're really doing is, and this start of the video is going to be we warp path the orbs. There's going to be a lot to talk about because a lot of optimization we do in Act 1, Act 2, and then after that, it's just going to be a stream bot, basically. But we kill that pack, we kill this pack. We want to hug right here once we get over this bridge, and we want to check for a shrine, so we just hit tab, see if a shrine spawns over here, because if you get like a crit shrine, then the first boss dies in like half a second. Kill this pack as well, and looks like there's no shrine, so we just go down. Kill these, and we just want to hit level 3 before we hit the boss, because that'll make it a lot easier with hammer throw. Doesn't really matter. You can kill it with warp path if needed, but if you just kill all the orbs, hitting level 3 is not too difficult. Alright, we have hammer throw, and we just throw everything else. The guy will kill everything for us. Here, we can open up our passives, and we're picking up Juggernaut. Now we just sit here, then hammer throw. Oh yeah, we have to listen to all the can't do that yet now. Yeah, because I don't play with audio, but like we can't listen to music because like my OBS is fucked up, so and I have to like stop my stream to fix it, so we're just gonna listen to in-game sounds. So we need to listen to Sentinel say I can't do that like 18 times. Alright, we kill him, pick up everything, and move on. We want to quickly look at the gear. Let's see. Health regen, I guess, is pretty good. Armor, sure. Oh, we got... Okay, I'm not going to use any uniques I get because that's cheating. If you get a unique that's worth putting on, put it on. I'll help you, but I'm going to use just the alt gear instead. Beep, no, we're not gonna get the beeps. Okay, and then what was on this weapon? Nothing, so we don't need it. So we don't want... Actually, well, okay. If you get a unique item that's not useful to you, hold on to it. Don't throw it on the ground like that. You don't need to talk to this guy. We move on. But if you were to get a unique there, you do want to hold on to it because we want to vendor it in town. So first thing we do, walk over to a vendor, and here we're going to go look for silver rings. So first off, we're going to vendor everything we don't need. No silver rings. They're the like white ones. So there's the one that gives you movement speed. Perfect. We want a sunrise emblem if we can find one. This is ignite on hit. Ignite, bleed, and poison on hit are insanely good for the first act. This is going to basically double our damage. And then quickly look at like gloves. Nothing there. Look at the weapons to see if there's one with like the same thing with damage on hit. We didn't get anything, so that's it. We don't really want to buy anything else in here. So look for blue items with ignite, poison, or bleed on them. Get yourself a sunrise. Even this white sunrise is good. We just want the ignite and blissed. And then get yourself movement speed rings if you can see them. Otherwise, look for added throwing damage. Unfortunately, we didn't find any. Right, we can put this on, and we can go to the next zone. Now we should have a much easier time to this area. In terms of stats, you want to look for on your gear. Vitality is really good on your helmet, chestplate, and boots if you can. Obviously, get resistances if you can. Ideally, focus on Void Res. We don't really care about the first act. It's pretty easy. There's not much damage going on here, but we want to get Void Res for the next act. It's going to be pretty rough. And then the filter specifically, which I guess we should quickly go over in terms of the colors. We probably should have went over this at the start. Green items are going to be the worst of the items you're going to see. Blue items are going to be slightly better green items. And then yellow items, orange items, and red items are just items for the auto-bombing swap, with yellow items being the worst of the kind. And then these rules are going to turn themselves off so you don't see the garbage items at the end. If you ever see anything in pink text that is fully capitalized, immediately pick it up. That's either added throwing damage on your belts, your gloves, your amulet, or your relic. Or if it's a ring, it's the hybrid rule. That hybrid rule is extremely important because it also reduces the mana cost of hammer throw, which makes it so much easier to sustain a mana cost on it. Anything in red, at least early on like this, is going to be poison, necro, or fizz gear, which is really important for midway through the campaign where it's going to be kind of rough and we really need those resistances. So maybe hold on to those items for later on. But otherwise, you know, if you see something blue, it's better than green. And if you see green, it's probably something noteworthy. Anyways, for the zone, if there's a big pack of crawlers, we want to stop and quickly kill them. Our only goal here is to hit level 4, so we stop for big packs, kill them quickly. We killed enough. We just... And then I guess you can hammer throw these behind you if you want to. There's just 2 mobs. We don't have to kill that. We just move on. Nope. Yeah, this is kind of bad run. No movement speed boots, no rings, no throwing damage, no nothing, but whatever. It is what it is. Honestly, I hope I get pretty bad luck here because if I can do this with a bad run, then you can do this with a really comfy run or with a run that you get better luck on. So yeah, let's hope we get the worst one possible. Here we kill this. It should put me in level 4. And then I'm going to move this off my bar so my lunge immediately goes on my Q button so I don't have to move it later. Level 4, hit S, click on the plus, click on hammer throw. We're now specialized in hammer throw and pick up wind hammers. From here, now we just want to lunge. We can lunge over here to this pack on the left if you just like hover your mouse on the left side of the screen. Dodge will pass that and go in the first zone. All right, time for some speed running tech here in this zone. This is going to be fun. You get to save yourself some time here. So, spam lunge. We lunge that pack. Walk forward. Pack over here on the right. Spam lunge again. And then walk forward. There's another pack over here. We're going to lunge to it again. Well, I guess we're going a little bit fast. We're going to drag all this into the boss. We're going to lunge to the boss. Go behind it. And then hammer throw from where we came to kill all the packs. Here, really want to make sure you dodge the circles on the ground. They hurt. This is unironically the hardest boss in the game. Once everything's stacked up, walk in and warpath. Just want to kill everything because the mobs are as deadly as the boss. Don't do what I did. I want to point out my speedrunning times on... Shut up! Don't make fun of... Don't do what I did. Alright, anyways. You can just hammer throw and be safe. Oh, I guess we should have checked what this was. Try it. Sorry. Okay, it's a gold try. Got it. Shut up. I'm a speedrunner, by the way, alright? Anyways, like I said, you see my point. This boss is unironically the single hardest boss in the game. By a large margin. It is the most deadly thing in the game. It is fucking deadly. Alright, shut up. Anyway, warpath these down because then we get to hit the boss at the same time. Hit him so he hits ward and then we can finish this guy off. Don't get hit by that. And then just hammer throw the boss down. Is that any shot? Shut up. Shut up. Anyways, once we kill this, we win. The rest of the leveling is really easy. All right, we're gonna do some more foggies lunges here. Ready? So We pick up the loots. Did we get anything? Literally nothing. All right, so we kill him. Then we go over here, and then it's time for some lunging. We don't need to talk to that guy. Lunge here. Go down the stairs. Lunge across the bridge here in a second. And then we go into storms. White monsters don't kill you. Exactly. White monsters don't kill you. Here, spam your lunge at the top left of your corner of your screen. You're going to lunge to the pack. Okay, we're just going to get... Where's the pack? Okay. All right, anyways. Lunge that pack then. And then we skip all this. Lunge. We just want to get through as fast as possible. Again, we're going to drag all this into boss. And lunge here again. You can kill these if you're afraid, right? If you're not comfy doing this, but it's honestly not that bad. And then we lunge again here, bottom right of the screen. Okay, the pack, all right, the pack over there wasn't there either. Okay, we're just getting unlucky here. And then we lunge here. Boss gonna spawn. We walk all the way to the right side of the room, and then hammer throw where we came from. And then again, same thing. Once everything stacks up, we can warp path it down. And then I guess we can lunge over here and then hammer throw from here. Oh, I guess the eyes didn't follow. Lucky. I don't know where the eyes went. The eyes typically come in here too. I don't know what's happened with the packs, because there's 2 packs that normally are there that aren't there. Then we go up, click on this, pick up our boss loots, and leave. Unlucky. Wow. Yeah, all right. Talk to this guy for passive points. And then here, spam lunge top rights, or sorry, bottom rights, and then go down the stairs. And then just go next zone. You don't really need to kill any of this. Typically, the way you want to level is by just killing all the rares. Most of the monsters don't really matter, but I shouldn't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay, here, if there's a shrine on the left, pick up the shrine. We're going to put in our passive points, just more points in Juggernaut. Dash here, and then we're going to drag all this into the next mini-boss. That, please don't skip mobs. Please take your time. Kill everything. Make sure you have enough XP. All right, here again, same thing. Drag everything into this. Dash in. Warp path to kill everything. Make sure you don't die. And then you can hammer throw a little bit for safety. That, when it comes to killing monsters, if you're, like, really well versed with what you're doing, you can only kill the rares, but please don't do that if you're a new player. Please just actually kill everything on your way to endgame. Like, don't just skip it. I'm gonna have to consciously this whole run tell myself to kill things, because I'm trying to imitate what like a near play. Oh nice, the sunrise, but we don't need it. Boots with vitality fizz, sure, you can put those on, but I'm not gonna pick that up. We already have one. Here we just talk to this guy. And then monsters are going to spawn, but we're just going to ignore them. Here, actually, you should do this. Ignore those monsters. We got a point and hammer throw. We're going to pick up steadfast path, and then we're just going to walk. The reason we ignore those monsters is just it's a waste of our time. We don't need it. We're still going to be ahead of XP. And then here, we can kill these orbs. The like little fiery orb guys are good to kill for XP. And then we kill here. That's a rare. We always want to stop for rares. Rares are always a lot of XP. Great. We can lunge forward, and then we just kind of want to stock up a few monsters, right, to make it a little bit more efficient. There's sometimes a shrine on the right. If you ever get a shrine that says, like, attacks with Warpath or Acid Flask or Rip Blood or Harvest or any of those, pick those up. Those skills do a relevant amount of damage and will basically just kill everything for you. You kind of get to hold W, which is kind of nice. Here we killed those. Move on to next pack. We'll just ignore these. These kind of take a little bit too long. We could drag them. Plus, there's a shrine over here. If this is a skill shrine, we can just kill everything for free here. Oh, yeah, there we go. Lightning Blast. Watch. Look at Lightning Blast. I'm not going to do anything. Look. Okay, all right. The Lightning Blast kind of sucks. But the point is, most of the skills are really good, and they help you kill everything a little bit faster. And we can get to kind of hold that. Okay, here, look. See, look. Boop. Oh, Force Axe. Does this have anything on it? No, we don't care. Okay, actually, that's fizz damage, so we'll put it on. This has fizz damage. Alright, so we hold W, and you see the shrine can kind of do all the work for us, right? As long as we're not, like, overwhelmed by too many monsters. Ignore everything and get to level 5 monoliths. Yeah, exactly. Ignore everything and get to level... Don't do that. Sorry, to reiterate, just kill monsters, kind of like how I'm going right now. Take your time, get XP, make sure you're keeping up with the zone level, and just have a good time. If you want to overlevel the zones, that works too. But, you know, as long as you're somewhat keeping up your grade. Like here, I'm overleveled, so we could stop killing stuff. All right, here, the old man can sometimes see the shadow demons randomly. It'll happen over here in a second. He might randomly just stop here and just start attacking literally nothing. If he does that, you have to hit T, take your portal back to town, and then come back, and then go back to start the zone and walk again. Sometimes the old man just has schizophrenia, and there's nothing we do about it, unfortunately. All right, we got another point for hammer throw. Here, we're going to be taking catapult first. All right, here we talk to this lady, and then this is the Allie old man choke skip. Ready? As soon as this guy gets fucking choked, ready? As soon as this guy grabs the old man's throat, there, click the portal. You don't have to wait for like him to go away and for you to talk to the lady. You can just immediately just take the portal as soon as he gets choked. All right, here we go to top of town and go to the right. We don't need to talk to the lady in town. We just immediately want to leave to the right. Allie, choke percent. Fitting run for me, huh? Anyways. This one's really good for XP. If you're behind XP, there's a lot of rares here, and they stack up, and they're really easy to kill, and they don't do anything. And they're just the big guys. Here, there's so much XP that even if you're... these guys right here. You wanna... Oh, I guess we're doing a catapult. Sorry, we were not meant to take catapult first. That's a mistake. Oops. All right, got a chest plate. You were meant to take Iron Spiral first. Let me put my passive points in as well. Catapult is useless. Whatever, I guess we have good clear now. Oh, we got a loot lizard. The loot lizards are like the goblins of last epoch. They give you a lot of loot. Typically, if you're speedrunning, they're not worth killing, but they give you a lot of crafting shards, most specifically. So as a new player, you definitely should stop and kill them. They'll help you quite a lot. Not to kill every single one of them. Just kill a few. As you can see there, look, we got a lot of runes of shattering, some glyphs. Like, that was really good. We got a shield. Oh, some void with some health. We'll keep that for later. We got another shield, kind of whatever. But we will put all those away. I'll keep the Void Res shield for later. For now, we're using a two-hander. Link with this chestplate on too. It's better than our white chestplate. We can drop all these random items on the ground. Pick up the Glyph of Chaos. But yeah, sorry. We were supposed to take Iron Spiral first. Not Catapult. We take Catapult second. What we could do here... Actually, yeah, we'll probably get enough XP. I'm actually going to respec out of it. I'm going to remove a point. I'm going to remove Catapult, which means I have to re-level my Hammer Throw back up. But it should level pretty quickly. And as long as I kill enough monsters by the time I get to the boss... I'll be able to pick up Iron Spiral. I am so sorry. This is a case of I'm trying to like do the run while trying to give tips, and my bad. I will be better about making sure I don't tell people to take the wrong things. But hey, this is what the planner is for. Make sure whatever I say follows is accurate to whatever the leveling planner says to do. But we have two more rares here because we kill these. We'll be level 7. Every time you level, you also get a really big boost of skill XP, so that helps. What's my hammer? Yeah, my hammer's already almost level 3, so I almost made up the mistake. For a video, have to study these skips. Yeah, this is definitely not the fastest run ever. For example, my current record is a 1 hour, 25 minute run with a really, really, really inted run to Act 5, which is like demonically fast. Demonically fast. Like, we can speed. And that was with this build specifically. So like, I know how to play this build to perfection. It's just trying to talk at the same time is not very easy. Oh, nice. Amulet Fizzres. We like Fizzres. Fizzres is a really, really good stat this early on. That's more armor Fizzres. Yeah, we like this. Armor Fizzres, Vitality. That's really good. That'll make us tankier. Damage over time. We could, I guess, pick that up for later. Maybe. Probably not. Ignite on hit. Perfect. So we're going to take out this sword. Has Ignite on hit. We like that. Our other sword just had, sorry, our other axe just had Fizz damage. And then we can put on the Void Res health shields. Great. All right. At this point, if you have Iron Spiral, or if you made a mistake like I did, I'm sorry. Just keep killing monsters until you get your level back so you can get Iron Spiral, and then we're just going to run by every other mob in this area. You don't really kill anything else. Alright, we'll pick up space. I realize I'm actually going kind of slow. I call me 20 minutes. Okay, I did like talk. I did yap for like 5 minutes before I started the run, and I am going like abysmally slow. We should go a little bit faster. Goodness, but alright, kill enough for Iron Spiral, and then we can get out of here. Is Nalia right? Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh, nice. Well, all right. The rest of the run's a joke now. So again, ping text, click ping text. That was specifically a ring, which means it has the hybrid roll on it. And the hybrid roll, one sec, once we get out of danger here. Can I get level 3? How close am I? Oh, we are. Yikes. All right. We might be doing this boss on hard mode. That's okay. It is what it is. I don't think we're getting enough XP here. I don't think we're getting... Oh, there's a bear. Kill the bear. We are not getting enough XP here. All right, we're doing the boss on hard mode. It is what it is. It is what it is. I will put... Okay, you know what? I will put an annotation when that happened. I'll like just edit the video, put it in the middle of the video. Do not take that. Do not listen to Allie. So I guess all this is irrelevant. You know, it's fine. I'll fix it in post. I'll fix it in post. It's fine. All right. Yeah, we got a throwing ring. -3 mana cost is a big deal. The throwing damage is really nice too. But we care about that because Catapult increased our mana cost, Hammer Vortex increased our cost, Iron Spiral increased our cost, right? So pretty rough on mana. Anyways, with Catapult, like you should have right now, you just stand against the wall and then just slightly dodge to the side every time the boss has an ability. And then this way, whenever he does his dash, the dash just goes directly into the wall. And you don't have to move or chase him down or anything. And then just dodge roll out any ability does. So like here, he'll attack, just dodge roll. He'll attack, dodge roll again. Right. Up again, Catapult. No, sorry, Iron Spiral. Yes, sorry, Iron Spiral. Sorry. You do not take Catapult first. You take Iron Spiral. take irons. Either way, like even so, I should have literally triple the damage right now. Sorry, not triple, about double the damage. Because with Iron Spiral, we'll get double hits. All right, here he like does this, and then here he'll dodge. So here he's gonna dash after you. So this is why you want to be against the wall. Okay, well I guess I messed up a little bit, but if you were against the wall properly there, he just AFKs and doesn't do anything. There's a chest plate in the Osprey's workup that always drops a dot weapon, which is handy if you haven't found one yet. Oh, I guess that's kind of cute, but oh yeah, I guess I don't know where that is, unfortunately, so I wouldn't know where to find it, but yeah, I guess that chest would be good to get. I hate that the boss is more ward than it has health. But luckily in Season 2, the rate at which like this ward goes away on its own is going to be doubled, so this boss is technically getting a pretty big nerf to its health, which is going to be nice. Alright, anyways. Scuffed run. I should have been doing double the damage, but whatever. We just hold down hammer throw and eventually he dies. Doesn't really do much damage either, so it's not that scary. Plus we have quite a bit of health on our gear, so bad. Enter zone. Oh, okay. Oh. That would have been good to get. Alright. Then we got our loots, and here we literally can just teleport town. We don't need to go talk to the old man on the right. We really portal. And then here, if you want to be a little bit fancy, there's something we can do. So we are going to walk up to the old man again. Here we got our second level. So here we're going to specialize into Rive. Then we're going to pick up Sever and a point of bound weapon. Alright, my hammer throw level, so I can pick up Iron Spiral again. Here you take Catapult after getting Iron Spiral if you didn't fuck up. And then here we're going to talk to the lady. And then I'm going to talk to the old man. This is going to start a cutscene slash, thing slash, event. I'm going to talk to him, and then I'm going to immediately start running down the stairs. I'm going to run to the vendor. We have like 10 seconds here where we can walk up to the vendor, click on it. Oh, let's see what you have, and then quickly look for gear. So, nope, those are not very good. Basically, what you would look for there is a movement speed ring if you can find one. Again, you have a few seconds as you saw. It's a cute thing. You can do it if you can. It's okay if you don't. That's fine. All right, pick up the Epoch, and then I did get a new weapon. 8-9 on kill. It's 2% more, so I guess we can put it on. Sure. Otherwise, the same. All right, let's speed this up a little bit because it's been really slow so far. Anyways, finish up Juggernaut, pick up Armor Clad, and then we hold W. All right, here, this zone is awful. We just want to skip everything in here. These mobs suck. They don't give much XP. They're not worth killing. We just skip everything. So we're just going to hold down W, and then we're just going to spam lunge with my cursor at the edge of my screen, just in case I can lunge to something as soon as I can. None of this is worth killing. All waste of your time. I guess like you could stop if there's a big enough pack like this. I guess you can do like 1 or 2 hammer throws so everything dies, but we're just going to skip all this. This rares we're skipping too. It's way too tanky. And we're just going to get through the zone as quickly as we can because we get more than enough XP in the next zone anyways. To play Season 2, you'll need to buy something. Nope. All you have to do is just buy the game once, and that's it. The game will never ask any more money out of you ever again. That's it, right? It's just buy once, and you own the game forever. There's no DLC. There's no any garbage like that. Nope. Good. All right, we make it through this zone, get to the next zone. And from here, we're kind of just holding W through the next few zones. There really isn't much to say. Then just be efficient. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really slow. By now, we should have been at like level 20. To give you a perspective of how slow we're going. But it's okay. We're having fun. And hopefully this is at a pace where people can keep up and, not be overwhelmed. Here, we want to talk to this guy. We want to actually pick up this quest. This is the only quest in the game. Literally the only quest in the game where you have to talk to an NPC to pick it up. Otherwise, you can't just do the quest. And then here, we're going to go down. And we're just going to go over here to this secondary objective to turn in. If you see a rare here, we do want to stop and kill the rare. Because there's typically a lot of monsters that will stack up. And this will be worth our time. This mace doesn't really have anything on it. No damage over time. Shrine here. Look at the shrine. Good chance. Yeah, great. Sure. That's a lot of damage. Pick that up. Make everything a little bit clear. And then here, we just want to hold down W a little bit. Wait for enemies to stack up. Attack a little bit. And then move on. We don't have to kill everything. Right. Oh, loot lizard. We can kill the loot lizard. Just let everything else run to us. And then we can kill on top of the loot lizard. And unfortunately, with hammer throw, you're going to very quickly learn loot lizards are really annoying to kill. So they might not really be worth your time to bother and stop for them, but I don't know, early on like this, well, we got another throwing item, so yeah, our life's gonna be a lot easier now. Cool, great. We get so many crafting to do. Bleed two-hander. No, I'd rather use my... That axe sucks. The two-hander sucks because I don't want to use my shield, because again, we're now in Act 2, and there's a lot of void damage here. Knock this guy, and then go north. And then we're gonna go north and like go a little bit left. Here, Child Bomber. I can't wait to play this build either. Like, the amount of changes that they made to the build is insane. I am so excited for it. Right, here we stock everything up on the rare. I am so excited to play it. I'm not sure if you were here. +1 Vengeance. We don't really care about that, but it's a helmet. I don't have a helmet yet. Okay, if you weren't here a few hours ago, like for the past few hours where we've done a lot of theory crafting, basically we've managed to increase the damage of the build by 50%, which is kind of nuts. I'm excited to, well, do 50% more damage than we were meant to do before. Here we talk to this guy again for the side quest. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I was already excited to play the build because this has basically been my favorite build in the game. And it's the thing that originally got me hooked on playing Last Epoch, and it's the thing that originally got me addicted to the game. I never thought I was going to play it again because I have a policy of not playing builds multiple times just because it's boring. And, you know, if I already play a build once, I probably have already figured out everything about the build. Oh, a honeybee. I mean, it has movement speed on it. Sure, that's pretty cute. Again, I'm not going to use it. We're just going to not use any uniques. That'll be fine. Sorry, back to what I was trying to say. I'm excited to play it because there is enough that is different about the build now. And there's so much changing about Sentinel that I'd really be doing the build a disfavor not playing it, given it's a completely new build. It's not figured out again. And that is really the one thing that stops me from wanting to play builds multiple times. It's just the fact that, you know, if I played it once, I probably already know literally everything there is still about the build. I probably hyper min-maxed it. So at that point, it's literally just do, right? There's no thinking involved. And to me, that's not fun. Typically, like a new season doesn't include enough in a new season. All right, we talk to this guy, and then we can turn this quest in town for 1 passive point. Oh, here we have a ride level. We're going to pick up another point in bound weapon. And now once we turn that in, we're just going to go right and just go to the boss. Number leveling guide, right? Not speed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this leveling guide is meant for the average person to follow along, for the new player to follow along. This is not the route I'm going to be taking to race for level 100, right? This is a substantially slower, less optimized route, but it's the comfy route, is the point, right? We're going to do a few, like, leveling skips and whatnot. All right, here we got another level for this. Now we're going to pick up catapult, and now my damage is tripled. Because now I shoot 3 hammers around me, or sorry, 2 hammers around me that can multi-hit, so sorry, I gained double damage. Anyways, back to what I was trying to say about Autobomber. I'm really excited about it because it is completely new. Instead of us playing a hit crit base build, we're now playing a time rot build, which is pretty cool. It's really fun. And then Sentinel's getting so many changes to it where it's now absurdly kinky and it's going to be just as fast as always and it's not going to be clunky. Oh my god, we're deleting the boss. My god. Right, it's not going to be clunky. It's going to feel fun. And yeah, I'd be doing the build a disfavor not playing it again, given it's the build that got me addicted. And yeah, there's a lot of new stuff to think about and consider giving, you know, it's a whole new build. It's not a hit build anymore. Stop it. Alright, here we just want to dodge the boss's autos pretty quickly. No loot drop. Now we go to town. Like the animations in this game are very floaty. A little bit, yes. They are working on updating the animations of the game. Alright, here in town, talk to this guy right here for passive points. Great. And then we can talk to the old man as well. And then he's going to drop idols. If the idols don't show up through a filter, then they're probably not worth anything. What do we get in our case? Let's see. This one has poison res. That's pretty good for later on. I'll hold on to that. And this is fire res. I'll just put this one on for now then. And I guess we can put this one in later once we get more slots. Okay. From here, we're going to do the Allie routes. Really fun. We're going to go north. And then there's going to be a set of stairs that we go down into another zone here, which we have to go down for a side quest. That's going to give us a passive point. And it's a really, really fun route we could do here. Where if you get lucky, we can get a lot of XP really quickly for free without us really having to do anything. There's going to be 2 shrines here, right? One spawns over here on the top left, one spawns on the right. Go to whatever shrine spawns. If both spawn, then go to whatever one you want. And click on it. I now have a phoenix, and then the phoenix is going to kill everything for me. Unfortunately, this one kind of sucks, but whatever. And this is just going to kill everything for us, right? Now we go over here. There's a loot lizard. We can kill the loot lizard. There's a rare always in this room as well. We want to kill the rare. We want to kill the loot lizard. Up. Kill this. Kill that. Oh, cool. We got some more gear. We can look at that gear here in a second. And we don't want to track that. Here we want to pick up the book, take the ledger, pick up all this gear, and then we go the other direction now. And the Allie route basically is this, right? If the shrine gives you a free skill like this, the free skill basically kills everything in this area for you, so you don't have to stop, and you get a lot of XP while just W. Again, unfortunately, the Phoenix kind of sucks because you have to aim it. All right, then we just walk out. And then I guess let's look at the loot really that we got, because we got a bunch of loot there. This is not better. I guess the poison is good. We'll keep the poison risk for later. Phase, poison risk, vitality. I'm just going to put that on our level 12 as an upgrade. And the rest of it's kind of bad. We'll vendor in town. I'll just drop the blue items on the ground. Actually, I'll just drop everything I don't need. There's not much of a point vendoring. That's whatever. That's whatever. I'll loot that. We're not going to use. I'm going to keep the damage over time. Actually, we're going to do this now. So, while leveling, you're going to see a bunch of items that have white text on them. Fortunately, this one doesn't, but you'll see a bunch of items with white text. The goal for those is to put them in your crafting inventory, which you can open up by hitting F, and use a Rune of Shattering to delete it. What we're looking for here is a damage over time shard. Hopefully we get it. Nice, we got it. This is going to be good for later on once we're ready to play the dot version of the build. We just want to start stacking those up by shattering any sort of dot items that we see along the way. Just so the moment we swap, we just slap on a bunch of dot-based mods on our gear and immediately just start deleting it. That's great. All right, we hit level 11. For Rive, we're going to pick up another point. I guess we didn't really talk about what the point of Rive is. Rive is just meant to be a button that you press. Oh, nice. We get a Harvest. Harvest is good. This is for us. But Rive is simply meant to be pressed if you run out of mana. If you end up getting one hybrid ring roll like I did, you will basically have no mana problems, period. So Rive kind of becomes pointless, but hey, it's still there just in case, you know, people get unlucky and they don't get anything at all, and, you know, you run out of mana constantly, have something. What's up? These are bad? No, these are good. Stop. They don't choke this old man. Stop. Kill the rare, and then we go to the boss. And yeah, from here, right, like the first few levels are kind of, I don't know, I guess a little bit technical. Not really. I'm kind of into this run so far. I've been playing kind of bad. I'm not spending on passive points. I have 4 passive points. They're just sitting here doing nothing. You know what? I'm just showcasing what the worst possible kind of run would look like. So, you know, if everything's super easy for me, you know, with me not spending 4 passive points, and imagine how easy it'd be for you if you actually spend your passive points. But yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Here, we just want to stand kind of in the middle of all 3 of these, right? So we can cleave them, move out of that. One of the guys that's like a big lightning AoE, move out of the lightning AoE. Try to stand close so they can keep hitting. And then here, we just want to hit the enemies that don't have ward. Right? Let the ward like fall. Wow, we're getting really lucky here. They're just not moving. Okay, here we hit these 2. That one has ward now, so we're going to go over to these 2 and hit these 2 because they have ward. We can swap back this one because the ward's going to fall. Well, I guess we baited out over there, so back over here. I just want to hit the ones that don't have ward on them to make it a little bit faster. Now here, we just Hi, Outs. Hello, good morning. Is it better to complete campaign or do dungeon skips and get monoliths as fast as possible? Both. Well, both. Let me kill this, and I guess we can talk about it, because it's going to be something that's going to be relevant. Like this, for example. This is just a damage over time, white item. Point of this item is to hit F, take it. Oh, I guess I don't have any amulet, but point is you would take this, shove it in here, shattering it, and get some dot shards. Okay, let's go back to town. Let's quickly do all this up in town, and let's actually discuss that, because it's going to be important for the leveling run itself as well. Okay, here we go over to the left, talk to the old man, turn the quest in, get a passive point, and then go over here, up the stairs, and then talk to this guy and turn this quest in as well. He's going to always give you Avarice. If you don't have a pair of throwing gloves, put these on. They just have, well, in this case, 13 Ellie res. That's great. Actually, I'm probably going to put them on anyways. I have quite good gear. Sure, I'll put them on for a while, keep the throwing gloves, put those back on later. Yeah, if you don't have throwing gloves or any good gloves, put those on for your Ellie res. Hi, timer. Okay. This is not a fast run, Taita. We're sitting here and discussing everything as we go, because we're recording the leveling bot. I'm going really slow. We're gonna try to pick up the pace here in a little bit. We have 2 passive points here. We pick up some fearless. I'm gonna try to pick up the pace, but oh, nice. We got a speech run here. So here we hold W down the stairs, and then we're just gonna lunge over here so we get the shrine really quickly. Click on the shrine, and then just move on. Killing those mobs. There's also another shrine over here. Crit chance? Sure, we'll take the crit chance one. Alright, then we can move on again. These are some random white monsters. It's not really worth it. If they're not clumped up, if there's not a bunch of monsters to fight at once, don't bother. Here, not enough monsters. I know we're a little bit behind XP, but we can kill these, I guess, right? And these are gonna come downstairs too. Speak normal? Normal-ish. Normal-ish. Anyways, here's an attack and kill this, right? It's okay if you're a few levels behind the zones. Like here, we're a level behind. Whatever, it's okay. It doesn't matter too much. As long as you're not like 5 levels behind, right? Like if you're starting to slip a little bit further, then sure, you can stop and kill some stuff. But, take your time, have fun, vibe it out, have a great time. All right, here, I'm going to take Avatar the Spire, 12 out of damage, and this boss is about to get melted. Look at this shit. I do have a crit shrine, I guess, so we're kind of cheating, but even if you don't have a crit shrine here, you can kill this thing in like 2 seconds. Because around here is where you get Avatar to Spire, and, well, that's a boss. Ooh, great. Dodge amulet. We like dodge. Health regen's really good. Throwing base. And now I can take this amulet, shove it in here, and shatter it for some more time shards for the run. portal. And move on here. Bam, lunge on the left side of the screen. You can get a lunge here, and then this is a fun lunge afterwards. You're gonna get a big lunge here. Okay, get a lunge there. And then here, you can lunge this little shithead down the stairs. Look at this, ready? Boom. Yeah, big lunge. Saves a lot of time. None of these mobs are worth killing. They're horrible for XP. We did get another passive point. I can quickly spend it on Fearless and hold W. Okay, so sorry. Let's go over the thing that was brought up like a minute or two ago. The dungeon skipping thing. So, the way we're going to level, which there's a few ways you can level, and I guess we should talk about the campaign and what's relevant about the campaign, because at this point we're just holding W. There's literally nothing to say for the next few. So, the way the campaign Last Epoch is put together is you get more passive points and more idle points than you actually need. The only hard goal to get access to Endgame is to make it over here. Is to make it to, well, actually, is to make it over to Lower District. Once you get to Lower District, you technically unlock Endgame and you get to do Endgame. But Endgame starts at 58, you're going to have a bad time. Your goal for the campaign is to simply, if you hit M, and then, which is annoying, I can't see mine, but down here in the bottom left, you'll see how many passive points and how many idle slots you've gained. You can get 15 passive points, 8 idle slots. There are more quests in the story than you need passive points and idols. Hit shift. Oh, is it shift? Oh, it's shift. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so our only goal, right, when making a character is to get 15 passive points, 8 idle slots, and that typically happens around Act 7, which is around this area, Hirobora and the Divine Era. At that point, you could continue the story and do Chapter 8 and Chapter 9, but you really don't want to because it's just a waste of your time. Ideally, what we're going to want to do is once we get everything around level 40 or so, we're just going to go to Endgame. Yes, we'll be a few levels behind. We'll be around level 45 or so versus 58. That's okay. The way levels work in this game, you'll be completely fine. It's completely okay if you're a little bit under level. What we can do on top of that, and there's a few other interesting routes you can take, but what we're going to do is once we do Hirobora and move on to Endgame, we're going to try and farm out a Temporal Sanctum key. And this is what we're going to do in this run. This is what I'm going to tell you about. We're going to talk about this again once we get there, but we're going to get to Hirobora, go to Endgame, get Temporal Sanctum key, and then come back to Ruined Era over here in the coast, and then do a Temporal Sanctum run. This is going to split us out in the Divine Era, which is at the end of Chapter 9, meaning all you do is just get to Chapter 7, get all your passive points, all your idols, and then you get to skip all of Chapter 8 and Chapter 9 by doing a dungeon run, while still getting to Endgame, to Chapter 9, where you get to unlock your item factions, which are important for late game. I'm going to actually have a whole video on this topic that's going to come out the same day this VOD came out, so if you want a better explanation of that, I'd recommend watching the video. The video also goes over a few other different leveling paths you can take, because the cool thing in Last Epoch is there's quite a lot of different ways you can go about leveling. Because, again, we have more passive points than we need on quests, there's cool routes you can take where you skip certain quests and do certain ones and, you know, do certain leveling routes and whatnot. And because on your future characters, you will have leveling gear, you can do what we're going to do with the Temporal Sanctum and skip a bunch of the story with the 2 other dungeons as well, because, well, you'd have leveling gear, so you'd have a pretty easy time, and you can do a really cool alternative leveling route. The point is, as a new player, if you are not following any sort of leveling guide or anything like that, I expect you to take about 8 hours or so to level. If you're going to follow along with what I'm doing, we're probably going to take about 3 hours together doing this, and probably a lot of that is me going really slow and trying to explain all this to you. If you're a more advanced player, you can also probably do the story in about 3 to 4 hours or so. If you're a speedrunner, you can pretty easily get to Endgame in about 2 hours. And if you're leveling a new character with leveling gear, you can very easily get to Endgame, i.e. get to Hirobora, get your passive points, be level 40 or so, in about an hour or so. Which is pretty cool. It's going to be kind of cute. Yeah, TLDR, right, sorry, to re-explain that, because I really do feel like I gave a really poor explanation of it. We're going to get to Hirobora, get all of our passive points and auto slots, so we have everything unlocked. Start leveling and playing through the endgame. Get a Temporal Sanctum key. And then we're going to go do a Temporal Sanctum run. And then that's going to skip all of Chapter 8 and all of Chapter 9. Which is going to then get us to town in Chapter 9. And then we can pick our item faction. And then that's it. We can then move on to endgame and have fun. And again, while you could manually do Chapter 8 and Chapter 9. And, you know, get to your factions that way. There's not much of a point. Given, again, it's pretty easy to get into endgame after Chapter 7. And you're still going to have to do all the progression that you ended up doing in the endgame. Once you get to Chapter 9 anyways, you can play through the game manually. So you're not gaining anything. You're not saving yourself any time. You're just wasting time where, you know, you could have made that endgame progression while getting a key and then basically skipped all the time wasted doing 8 and 9. Right, again, I hope all that made sense. I'm sorry. I have difficulty trying to, like, explain stuff at the same time as playing the game, especially while trying to like be informative like this. So I am definitely explaining things a lot worse than I could be. Skip everything, you don't get past it. No, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, anyways, here, we're just going to hold W through the zone. We're basically just going to hold right, then go up by this waypoint to the right, and then we're going to just do a big move, then we're going over to the floor. Yeah, I can multi-tack pretty well, but it's like, I'm honestly, right, if I had more time, I probably would have redone all this, because like, my god, the beginning was really bad. It was kind of vented, it was really slow, and you know, it was a little bit painful, but hey, whatever, it is what it is. Hopefully the rest of the run's clean. Again, I'm sorry for how peg I am during this whole run. I'm trying my best here. Okay, sorry, we should not be killing those rares. Those are waste of red. Hey, then again, but call everyone listening to Degen Sluts. Shut up. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, there's a rare here. Rare. On. When I mean rare, I don't mean like the blue name monsters. I mean these. Like the ones that have like a special name. They have like stats below them. Those are the rares. None, that's good. Alright, we can move on. So, technically, as soon as we go and kill the boss in this zone, we unlock Endgame. So we could technically do Endgame at level 13, level 16, whatever it is. 2 passive points, pick up Fearless, and talk to boss. So here, if you have some Void Res, I have 40% Void Res, you can ignore the big Void hit he's going to do. If you have like 40% Lightning Res, he's going to do a big Lightning attack here too. If you have 3 potions and 40% Lightning Res, you can just AFK inside of it and just tank it so you can kill the boss faster. But don't do that. Just out, right? This. You can stand as Void hit. I have 40% Void. It literally does no damage. We want to dodge the Cold Frontal. And again, this is what we want to move out the Lightning Roll. Again, if you have like 40, 60% Lightning Res, you can just stand in it and tank it and then just spam your pots. But I say you love your link guides. You know, work on the filter makes things so much easier to understand how filters work. Yeah, guide. Yeah, no problem. No problem. My only goal is to make sure that people have a fun time with video games. And if they do, then I'm doing my job, you know? Dodge that. If I'm trying to keep the... Yeah, I don't know. I'm all over the place, whatever. I hope I'm not, like, you know, hinting the way I speak to the point where it's difficult to keep up with what I'm trying to say. You know? You know? Back to boss. And we kill it. And here... we're going to be spat out into the endgame now. We get to pick our masters. It's going to be fun. We got the shard. Oh, we get to pick up the pike. Boots of life. Oh, yeah, it's 40 life. That's pretty good. That's better than a little bit of his res. And then here, while we wait... Oh, I guess, well, I'll shatter really. Shatter that for damage over time. Poison... Oh, that's just better. Poison Ignite. Slap that on. And just drop down the ground. Drop down the ground. This is damage over time on it. Oh, and slow shit. That's... Okay, so this helmet was better. Yeah, Poison Fizz, put that on. This is Poison. You know, I'm just going to shatter this for the Poison Fragment. I didn't get any. Sad. And then that's just worse too. We can throw on the ground. That's a little bit of crafting too. So on my chest plates, I have a Fizz Shard, so slap that on there. I don't have any movement speed fragments, do I? No, unfortunate. These are whatever we do. Oh, I guess I have Vitality. We'll save the Vitality one for later right now. This is open suffixes. Let's put a Health Shard on here, or let's put a Void Shard on here. Void's going to be a little bit painful next area. We're going to want to keep this ring for literally the rest of the leveling experience. Oh, I got another throw. At some point, I picked up a Hybrid Shard. Okay, so let's actually go to the town really quickly. Yeah, I had the last Ewok tools. Yeah, I assume a lot of people are going to, right? Given that's like the place everyone goes for like build repositories. I talked to this lady, and then I'm going to quickly go to the vendor over here. I have another Hybrid Shard. And you have no rings. All right. Well, we're going to go to Gamba vendor. I don't recommend using a Gamba vendor, but I would like a ring. All right. Here's a movement speed ring. I don't even have the money for it. So never mind. We can't. All right. Well, I'm going to try to find a ring and put the hybrid roll on there because that's going to be a lot more damage. The damage is nice, but it's the -3 mana that's more important, right? It would literally half the current mana cost of my hammer, which would be nice. All right. Come up here. Talk to this guy. And I guess I pick up the gold shines I'm for. Talk to him. And then here we are taking the Void Knight, the one on the left. Can confirm. Now we're at Void Knight. And we get our passive. So we talk to him again. Can make a portal. Take the portal. And we can put our points in here in a second. So to be able to put points into our Void Knight tree, we need to put 15, 20 points into our main tree. As you can see, there's a little blue line here. So we're just keep putting points in Fearless. Now we hit the blue line. So the next point we can put is in Void Knight. As a Void Knight, we now get 10% chance for Echo, which is pretty cool. And we're going to pick up some points in Temporal Corruption, which is a lot of free DPS. But We now get a lot of damage because we really like the Void Knight tree. Really, really, really like the Void Knight tree. Gives us a lot of DPS. Especially the first few points he had damage. I walk out to the bottom right, go through the door, and now we're kind of just holding W. There really isn't much to say here until we hit level 16, at which point we get Javelin, and then we get Holy Trail, and basically our whole leveling build is online at that point. And all we're really going to do then is just pick up gear and just try to speedrun as fast as we can. This area sucks. Literally skip everything in here. Even if you're under-leveled a little bit, just run past these monsters. These monsters are horrible. Just skip all. Okay, we killed the blue lizard. Oh, I'm not killing the blue lizard. You can kill the blue lizard if you want to. I'm just going to hold W. You can kill these quickly, I guess. That's a decent attack. This area, don't stop for the rares at least, please. Just run. It's 18. Sorry, it's 18, not 16. Right, we get Javelin 18. Say thanks, my guy. We'll try it out. No problem. If you want a leveling VOD, we're currently in the middle of recording a leveling VOD to put up on YouTube, which is kind of into. Okay, I say I'm gonna stop and not kill stuff. I am killing. Okay, oh, I'm gonna. Allie, stick to your principles. I said to run. We are running. You're just gonna. Okay, but like there's so many monsters. Like okay, right? Like, kill everything if you want to. Don't kill everything if you don't want to. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna probably change my mind like 8 more times. We definitely don't kill these. Every bird in here has resist fizz damage. They're horrible. Don't fight those things. They're gonna die. They're just gonna kill you. Yeah, like if you want to kill everything, be over level, that's fine. We'll just be a little bit slower, but you'll have a really comfy time. Just shoot that. We are killing everything and getting to endgame as low level as possible. No, shut up. Oh, alright, I'm gonna put my hammer throw point here in a second. So, in my case, because I have a throwing damage ring, I can, and I have another fix ready to go to put under the ring. I'm just gonna pick up Hammer Vortex ahead of time, probably. You can pick up Catapult or Hammer Vortex, up to you. I'm gonna take Hammer Vortex, still a little bit comfy, it's kind of fun. But otherwise, you would take more points than Catapults. The points up. You would instead pick up a few points in this first to reduce your mana cost. But if you have like the minus mana rings, you can kind of just do whatever you want, right? Whether it's picking up Iron Spiral, so sorry, Hammer Vortex, so everything moves with you, so you get a little bit more XP, or whether it's picking up a second point Catapult immediately to get a lot more single target damage. Up to you, but if you don't, get Catapults. Gonna speed trying, pick up that. And here we just want to stack things up and attack a few times in here. This is the fun part of it's the fun part of Hammer Vortex, is now we just get to attack a few times and we get to kill like a few extra mobs for free. Yeah, we're leveling Hammer Throw just because Hammer Throw is like the easiest way to level. Don't do what she says and change your mind constantly. Yeah, exactly. Just either kill everything, or don't. It's up to you, but I mean, I guess you can do like this. That's fine. Man, it's really hard for me. Like, because at this point, I think this is like the 6th or 7th run I've done of this area on this build in the past like 3 days. It's really hard for me to not just like immediately start going burn. Like, it's really hard for me to not just want to skip every single monster and just send it. Because like when we're speedrunning and we're staying like super under level the whole time because we don't really care about XP. We play the game on hard mode. It's hard. It's hard for me to like stop and make sure I kill stuff to keep up with XP. It's like simulate what like a normal player would go through. I hate it. I just want to run. Are the nemesis worth doing? Not really. Brandon, thank you so much. You're fucking cutie. I appreciate it. That's very kind of you. Oh, we do a shrine really quickly. Not really. The nemesis are just gonna bend you over and kill you, unfortunately. Hey, look. Can't say I didn't click the gold shrines, alright? Shut up. Yeah, the nemesis are gonna bend you over and kill you. Don't touch them. There. You can kind of look at them and see if they have a cool unique that might help you level, I guess. But they're just gonna kill you. That's gonna be better on launch for the patch. The new zones, yes. The old zones, there is gonna be something that they're gonna be actively working on to slowly updates with the new visuals of all the new zones and all the like pretty new stuff that they're doing in the like endgame, right? Like they are doing a whole new like graphical overhaul of a lot of the game. But the new zones, no. These are going to be something that are going to slowly update over the next like few seasons and whatnot. And I would really like another ring. Because like taking Hammer Vortex like that without that second ring affix is kind of painful. We just stop for the rares, kill whatever else we can on top of it. Pick up another point, and I guess once we pick up another point in Battle Weapon, we can pick up like another point in Sever, or pick up the attack speed points. Doesn't matter because in the level we're dropping that anyways to pick up Javelin once we hit 16 or 18. Sorry, 18. fine. There's also not a lot of rares in this area. And again, if you have a decent amount of void res, you'll have a pretty good time here. If you don't have a lot of void res for this zone, you're gonna have a pretty bad time, unfortunately. But yeah, lots of rares to catch up with XP here, and pretty easy if you have these. And I would really like another ring. Also, scissor and China's leagues. 1, 2. A rare, whatever. The health shard. Kill this bear. Where I really would like a ring. And just leave it. 50 bad at the moment. Do you expect directly into Void Knight when you get the mastery? Yep. You're expecting to Void Knight. Right, yeah, that is the annoying thing. Like, I really hate it. I think Max Roll is the one that's like pushing this really heavily on people. Sorry, I'm just gonna pass the points. We pick up 2 points in Temporal Corruption. Like, Max Rolls, I think, really pushing this really heavily on people, which I think, in my opinion, is unbelievably cringe. And just, you're going to confuse new players, and you're just going to make people's lives more annoying. Like, people, a lot of content creators are trying to do the whole, like, oh, level with this, and then swap over to your mastery, and, like, do this. And, like, you're just going to confuse people. You're going to make their life harder, especially on this build. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what their Autobomber build does. Like, why? Look, I'm pressing hammer throw. Everything dies. It's not difficult. You know, like, why make people's lives harder? I don't know. My opinion on that is, like, you could do it if you want to, but I'm gonna probably call you cringe if you, like, do the whole mastery swapping. Just because, like, Last Epoch and, like, all the skills in this game are really well balanced. Really, really well balanced. So pretty much where every single skill can get you to endgame pretty easily, right? And, like, there's never been a build, like, you've never had to do that ever before. Ever. Period. To level a build. You know, why? Ooh, that's a lot of bad throwing damage. I guess we'll put this on. Right? Like, if you've never had to do that before, if every build has been very smooth to level, why start doing it now? Like, does that make sense? It's just like, why? Why go through extra loops for, like, no reason? Like, for a very small, like, benefit, and, like, for, you know, you're just gonna confuse people and make their life harder, and, you know? You know? The saying is that she really likes Last Epoch and wants to put a ring on it. Exactly. Right. This video he was talking about more damage on Paladin, but yeah, like, I mean, sure, but, like, I'm gonna disagree with Dread on that too. I know the Maxwell guide is doing that, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm gonna, like, what's the point? It's, oh, nice, finally got movement speed boots. I'll put this on. You know, like, what's the point? Especially on Sentinel. Hammer throw is really good, Javelin's really good, Warpath's really good. Like, it's not like leveling a Void Knight sucks, right? It's not like it's difficult to do. You play, sure, but it takes very minimal effort if you know the game a little. Sure, but I don't know. I still find it cringe. Like, it just, I'm very anti-effort. Like, very, very anti-extra effort. And that's just extra effort with very little payoff. Right? Right? Like, I am extremely anti, like, if I can do something, let's put it this way. If I can play a build where I don't have to press a button and I do 80%, not 90 to 95% of the damage that build would do if I press an extra button, I'm just going to take 5-10% less damage, right? It's going to make the build comfier. It's going to make it easier, right? Like, that's just my opinion on things. It's like, I'd rather be, like, mostly optimal, but have a comfier time than to, like, go through, like, 8 extra loops, you know? Yeah, and it's not like the game's difficult to level it. You know? Like, I mean, you know, I guess, you know, do what you will, right? You can level however you want to level, but that's just my opinion on it. I find it cringe. I'm gonna pick up a point of catapult because my mana's a little bit dead without another ring. Sorry, I guess we should talk about the zones, what we're doing here. There we wanted to go to talk to the guy on the left, and then we simply want to go through and kill the 3 urns that are pinged on a map. They find that purple thing that can empower. Would you empower 3 times for a challenge, or empower right away at the start? It depends on what you want to do with it, right? It depends on what you're trying to accomplish with a nemesis. While leveling, I highly recommend to not touch them. You're probably just going to end up dying. Most of the time, the loot from them isn't really worth it either, especially with loot lizards being in the game now. But it really depends. Once you get to endgame, every time you can, like give them an item for them to, like, cook and to, like, make better. And typically you want to give them an item and then, you know, empower a few times over before challenging at the end. So the item that you put in there to cook is as quick as possible. But, like, if you don't have anything to do with that, right, you could just quickly simply hit challenge to, like, just get the loot, you know? System from Holy Aura helps the low survivability. Yeah, but you don't need it, right? Like, that's just my opinion on mastery swapping. You never had to do it. Leveling every mastery was super comfy, right? It's not like leveling a Void Knight was difficult, right? It's not like it was hard, and it was very comfy and very fun. It's like, why bother? You don't need to. You know, that's just my opinion on it. Is it a veterans only tag for some of these builds? I would nah, yeah, I mean it depends. Right? It depends on the build maker, it depends how they like talk about the build and like how handholdy they make, and depends like how many unique items they expect you to have like early on, right? Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's like it's sure, yeah, you can do it, but it's like why bother kind of thing. Biggest thing build creators forget is how to imagine the game for a new player. A lot of builds I noticed they forget to mention basics like making sure resist are capped. Yeah, exactly. You know? Okay, sorry. Passive points. Okay, here we just keep picking up a few more points of temporal corruption, and then we'll pick up a few points of endurance. I might be straying slightly from the planner and like what the planner says to do in terms of passive points. And if I ever do, follow the planner. Like if you're confused, I'm sorry. Like I'm trying to follow exactly what the planner says, right? But if there's ever any discrepancy, just follow what the planner does. I painstakingly made sure that the planner is like 100% accurate with like the most like optimal possible routes and like setup so you can have the comfiest time, right? So just follow that if there's ever a discrepancy. But I'm gonna try not to cause a discrepancy if possible. Hey, Gortha, when you speak, what version of Gortha? I've never watched Grotha, so I don't know how he speaks. This hop is a lot more relevant for other classes. Leveling is lich versus... Okay, sure. Yeah, like fair. Yeah, like for Sentinel, I think it's cringe. I think you're just cringe if you're gonna do it. For something like a lich, okay, I will agree. Sure. I would actually agree you should level as a warlock instead of a lich if you want to play a lich. Sure. Is there any other cases of that? Let's see. Spellblade's amazing. Mage is amazing. Rune Master's amazing. They're all really comfy, really great. Void Knight's amazing. Forge Guard is... Yeah, Forge Guard has forged weapons. Yeah, Forge Guard's really simple. Right here, we get the thing. We get out of town. Forge Guard's amazing. Paladin's amazing. They're all comfy. All three rogue classes are pretty good too. Maybe Blade. No, Blade Master's great too. You have Umbral. Yeah, all those are comfy. I don't know anything about Druids, so maybe you want to do that for slash Primalist, whatever the name of it is. Or maybe that for Druid slash Primalist as well. But sure, I can see it for Lich. But for everything else outside of Druid Primalist, because I don't play that, I don't agree with that. I don't think you need. Hey, Confusion, you should never listen to Allie. Exactly, never listen to me. Or build changes, for instance, if you find some great uniques, but they're for the... Yeah, like, like I see Mastery swapping as a way to like for you to play other builds rather than like to abuse it to level a little bit faster, Well, Loco, thank you so much. You're a fucking cutie. I appreciate it. All right, for this boss, we just stand here, dodge the laser beam, and then just hit him, right? Falls over and dies. Death by Jill, thank you as well. You're also a fucking cutie. I appreciate it. That's very kind of both of you. Those are way slower than Umbral Blades because Umbral Blades are broken. I mean, you can just level Umbral Blades no matter what, right? You don't need to like pick a certain mastery for it, right? That's just like the way to kind of like how you just level every Sentinel with a camera throw. I really need to get a second ring. Well, hey, you know what? Time to press Rive. This is literally why we got Rive. Is if we go press Rive, and then we go back to pressing hammer throw. A good use of mastery swap I've seen is some creators just make one ideal leveling. Okay, now we got Javelin at level 18. Now we're going to click on Rive, click Respec, despecialize skill, and then specialize into Javelin. My tree here is different than what you would see on launch. I believe the tree we're going to want to take on launch is going to be 1 point and go for the legs, 2 points in spear to thigh, and then Holy Trail, right? With the 4 passive points they get for Javelin, you'll immediately be able to pick it up. For me, unfortunately, I won't be able to. I have to go a long way, so I have to wait for 1 more level before I get Holy Trail. But for you next season, you can immediately pick it up through the left. All right, we didn't get any loot. We're going to put on a bar. So what Holy Trail's going to do is every time you throw your spear, you're going to leave a little holy debuff on the ground. And that holy debuff is going to do a stupid amount of damage. So you can throw it behind you and just kill packs that way while keep, progressing forwards. Here, we want to go north and go up here and go through this area to get passive points before coming back. But you can throw it behind you to kill monsters as you're running. Or you can throw it ahead of you, and if you stand inside the fire from Holy Trail, you get healed, like 20 or 30 health a second. It's a lot of health per second. It's really comfy. So on bosses, we're going to press Holy Trail and cooldown to put down a thingy to stand in. And then for clearing, like for example, here I just throw a Holy Trail backwards and kill these packs, right? It does a lot of damage. It's going to start falling off around level 30 or so, but up until then, it's pretty good. One other thing to mention around this time is we're about to be done with the Void area kind of soon. So, the worst of the worst is over. The next act is all about necrotic damage, but there's only one zone where the necrotic damage is really, really bad, and we're literally just going to run through the zone as fast as we can. We're just not going to kill anything in the zone. So we're not going to worry about necrotic damage, but you're going to really need to start looking for some Fizz Res, because you're going to really want to be Fizz Res capped by Act 4, which could easily be doable, given we're about to get a bunch of free Fizz Res from our passive tree. And you're going to want to do everything you can to get poison res. Either pick up a bunch of poison res gear and then just shatter it. If you have some open suffixes on your gear, you can craft it onto your gear. And we'll do that. We'll do a little crafting session before we get to Act 4. Or just pick up that poison res gear and put it on. The more poison res, the better. If you can get to 75% poison res, you're going to have a good time. If you're like 30, 40, unfortunately, you're going to be in for a pretty bad time, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, the first few zones of Act 4 are just kind of miserable, and they're kind of painful, and they just do a stupid amount of damage, and they're extremely overtuned, and you might still die even with 75% poison res. It's just that bad. Yeah, keep that in mind. Start getting some poison res, get some fizz res, because that's going to help too, and that should hopefully make everything easier in that area. So it's Void Knight for first timer. Got it. How do you get Psychic Fortune? Tried level 20 today, but didn't get any factions. Your faction is going to be something you unlock in Act 9, which is going to be something we're going to cover in this leveling VOD. The TLDR is we're going to get to Act 7. We're going to then go to Endgame. We're going to start farming Endgame until we get a very specific drop. And then we're going to use that specific drop to then skip to Act 9 where we unlock our item faction. Right. You could instead go all the way to Act 9 manually, but there's no reason to because Act 8 and Act 9 literally gives you nothing. You're going to have all your passive points, all your idle slots before then. So you're just going to be wasting your time, literally accomplishing nothing while doing Act 8 and Act 9, when instead you could be doing some endgame, start making some endgame progress, and, you know, get the Temporal Sanctum key to do Temporal Sanctum that way while making some endgame progress. The argument for not doing it is that, yeah, you technically lose out on some favor for your faction. Technically, you're losing out on some progression. But think about it from this perspective. You're losing, you're spending basically an hour doing Act 8, Act 9 to then get your faction, to then not waste any, XP with your faction while you get into endgame. When you can instead just do an hour to 2 hours of endgame, you're still technically wasting an hour to 2 hours before you get your faction. But, you know, you made some endgame progress. And the amount of, like, XP that you're losing out on your faction is so minuscule, it basically is irrelevant. Right? So you're just saving yourself an hour of, you know, doing basically pointless content where you could just do an hour of endgame and progress that way, you know? Act 5, no, we're doing Act 7 run. No. The Act 5 stuff is not relevant for new players. No. That is the advanced leveling routes. We are not doing the advanced leveling route. Hell no. If I tell people, let me put it this way. If this leveling VOD is a Act 5 leveling VOD and we do the advanced leveling route, I will be crucified. I will actively be crucified for attempting to tell people to play the game that way. All right, here's a shield with some necro and some cold res. Sure, we pick that up. Ooh, river. My god, these would be so good. These are literally like the best in slot gloves for leveling your throwing build. Nope. Well, if I had those right now, I'd be having... I could literally close my eyes for the rest of the leveling experience and I'd have like the biggest joke of a time ever. Alright, I finally hit level 5. I can pick up Holy Trail. I now have Holy Trail. So yeah, now we just press Holy Trail, puts a little thing on the ground, does a stupid amount of damage. It's great. Here we're going to take the tome. We're going to click the top option, open, flip the end, take the tome, open up the map, and then we're going to go to Shattered Valley. We're not going to go to town. You can teleport from anywhere you want to, and this game's kind of nice. Trail coming, is anything you want to? Shut up. What I meant, Act 5 is where you need poison res. Sorry, yes. Act 5 is where you need poison res. Sorry, we're currently in Act 3. Yes, technically, sorry. This isn't all Act 2. To me, this is all one act. Like, the whole Void area is one act. But technically, yes. Act 2 is the start of the Void area up until you kill that boss where you get your mastery. Act 3 is the second half. So, like, we're technically in Act 3 right now. We're about to go to Act 4. Sorry, yes. Sorry. Here we take up 5 points in this, I think. And then we start picking up some endurance points. And then here we can stack these up. Fizz res, sure, I guess we... Just shut the fuck... Oh, that's weird, though. Just a poison and necro, so used to butting it as chaos, yeah. Like, if you get a little bit of, like, necro damage early on, like necro res, you can put on for next act, it would help. They don't need to. How much fire res do I have here? 48? Okay, with 48 fire res, we are gonna just AFK in the middle of the dragon's AoE ability. You don't have to dodge it. It's kind of cute. If you want to be a little bit safe, don't do that. But with enough fire res, we can just AFK in the abilities, which is kind of cute. Alright, here we hit level 20. I guess we'll kill the dragon really quickly and we can talk about level 20. Alright, so with 50% fire res, I can just stand on top of the dragon. We still need to dodge. Alright, so we Holy Trail. So the boss takes damage from Holy Trail. And then we just sit here and hammer throw. This ability. You can just AFK in this with like 40-ish% fire res. It won't kill you. You have to dodge like the breath that does. Yeah, we just press Holy Trail, and then we just press Hammer Throw. I really, really hate that I haven't gotten a ring yet. I'm gonna go try to buy a ring in town. So put my throwing thing on there, because otherwise I wouldn't have any. If I had a throwing ring, I would not have any like mana issues right now. Fortunate. Oh, well, speak of the devil, I guess. All right. What is this run? Oh my god. All right, we hit T, we go to town. This run is insane. We got Riverbend. We got double hybrid rings. This is like an insane run. All right, then we go over here, talk to the respec lady, tell her about the ancient forest. We get 2 idle slots, and then we hit M and go back to Shattered Valley. Well, I guess I don't need to buy a ring. Actual, man, imagine I had Riverbend on our actual run next season. Oh, that'd be insane. All right, let's talk about level 20 point. So here we're gonna take Volatile Reversal. Now, unfortunately, again, I'm playing the old season, so I can't show you exactly what to take. But all you would do in this case is you would simply come over to the leveling guide. Let me show you. Scroll up to the top, and you are just simply following this Volatile Reversal tree for where you do Volatile Reversal. Follow this. All right, let's continue. But for me, I'm just going to pick up the skill just to say I picked up the skill. I'm not going to press it because it is literally useless. Here, let's pick up a few points of Abyss Endurance. It is literally useless, which is really cool because they're turning Volatile Reversal from one of the most hated skills in the game into one of the most loved skills when Season 2 comes out. I can't wait to press that skill. I'm actively excited to press the skill. Amulets. Oh, nice. It has a Venom, which means... Oh. Poison Res. Here, now we just hold W. There's a lot of packs here, so we can just like group up everything like this and then Holy Trail behind me, and then things will just die to dodge as you can get one ticked. Here we can lunge, Holy Trail, right? And we can kill quite a lot of monsters like this, so we can save ourselves quite a lot of time with running around. Volatile Reversal is great. Yeah, that's a bad take. That's a bad take. Nope. Volatile Reversal, bad. Alright, here we're the same level as the zone, and if we're the same level, honestly, we can get quite a lot. You know. And like back stuff up like this for Holy Trail, but try to, you know, if you have enough XP and if you're caught with the like zone level, just hold W. Freezing Waves, sure. Although no, this is bad. Now things won't chase me through my Holy Trail. This is actively inting my XP. This Divine Orb in the level 20 skill set. 1 second. This, oh nice, Poison Res on that. Alright, here we take a Spiritual High, and then here we pick up some more. So, we're not going to take Devouring Orb until... Actually, I forgot what I said in the leveling guide. Do whatever it says in the leveling guide to do. Let me actually check. Let me check so I give people the right information. What do I say do in the leveling guide? I forgot. So, we get... Oh, sorry. You're right. Sorry. Yes. Sorry. Nope. Ignore me. Allie is stupid. Well, okay. Sorry. Ignore me. Okay. I'm going to take it back. Right. To keep it simple for people to follow along for new players, the plan technically was to not take anything until Devouring Orb, right? You could take Volatile Reversal and then go pick up the mobility portions of it to get around a little bit faster. But yes, you're right. Sorry. No, theoretically, we would not be taking anything until Dev Orb. You can just leave in Volatile Reversal, and then as soon as you do unlock Dev Orb by putting 15 points into your tree, then you can swap over to then. Or you just leave it open. Yeah, sorry. Technically, yes. To keep it as new player friendly as possible, we were literally just not going to do anything with the point until then. Yeah, sorry. So, yeah. The TLDR, right, if you want to keep it simple, is you grab yourself. What's it mean for? You get Javelin at 14, and then you literally just leave the 3rd specialization slot open until you get Dev Orb, and then you specialize into Dev Orb. Or, for a few levels, you can specialize into Volatile Reversal and use it to get around a little bit faster than Lunge. Sorry, I completely forgot about that. I'm so sorry. Alright, Javelin's at 18. Yes, at 18. Sorry. Say, you de-specialize at Arrive at 18. You pick up Javelin. Play Javelin and Hammer Throw. You can pick up Volatile Reversal if you want to at level 20 to make leveling a little bit faster, or just leave the slot open until you get Dev Orb, and then pick up Dev Orb, and then start leveling. I'm sorry. I am wrong. Hey, you know what? I am just replicating a new player run. No, we're just replicating a new player run, you know? I'm sorry. Okay. Again, I'll fucking edit this again, right? Just like I said, we'll edit like the whole catapult stuff. I will edit this as well, so all this becomes irrelevant. I will fix it. All right, I'll fix it in post production. All right. Kill the boss. Then we just simply hold W. Put our passive points in, and then we pick up a 5th point here, and then we can pick up some void bolts for some throwing. I'm stress testing. It's okay. The beautiful thing about this is honestly, like the leveling route that we're taking, the skills that we're playing with, the build that we're playing is just so broken that it doesn't really matter what you do. You could play it incorrectly, you could play it correctly, and you'll still have a really comfy time. It's gonna be okay, is what I'm trying to get to. But yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I should not be confusing. I am so sorry. This is why I don't do these leveling VODs. It's because of this, right? Like typically, I'd say like the written guide itself is like pretty self-explanatory in terms of what to do if there's a new player. So I never see the reason to like do a leveling VOD, but yeah, I guess I really should do a leveling, you know. I should do leveling VODs because they help people, but this is why I don't want to do them, because like I'm like a perfectionist, and if I don't say everything in the exact correct way, as it's like, you know, like if I tell you something wrong, I'm gonna feel bad about it. Like to me right now, I literally just want to restart this and just start from scratch and, you know, like restart the whole run. But unfortunately, we do not have time for it, you know. But I guess this is how I was about making build guides. So funny enough, right? Funny enough, I used to not want to do build guides. I was afraid of doing build guides. I never wanted to do them. People like begged and pleaded me to do build guides for like, I don't know, probably over a year when I started doing content creation like 3 years ago. I didn't want to do them because of exactly what is happening right now, right? I was afraid of like fucking them up. I was afraid of like, you know, making a bad build guide that like people weren't going to like and stuff, right? Like I didn't want to because of that. And it took me a while to get out my shell to actually want to do build guides. And, you know, like once I started doing them, well, you know, we are where we are now. All right, in this area, the Lotus Halls, we want to go to the left. And we can do a really cute skip here where we can save ourselves a lot of time. But all we're going to do is just hold left and basically hold this wall. There's a bunch of like offshoots that go to the right and whatnot, but you're just going to hug the left. This is the left wall, like the bottom wall, the left wall, whatever you want to call it, until you can't go bottom anymore. Gosh, there's some poisoners on it. I have a lot of poison. Again, once we kill the boss here in a second, we're going to do some crafting before the next zone. We'll stop and do a quick crafting session. But up until this point, we don't really need I'm strong enough off the ground. Or ground loot. I can't speak. The loot on the ground. Oh my god, Allie. Holy shit. Speak English.
Stand down or die.
Saying correctly, sounds like Jonathan. Yeah, exactly. I'm making what John exactly. Not pointing out, nah, it's whatever. I was subconsciously thinking about it anyways, you know? Okay. The loot filter may have a little bit too many dot items on it. But I don't have this many runes of shattering, right? You don't want to shatter literally every single dot item. Just do a few, right? Like if you have like 10 dot shards lying around, you're good to go. Yeah, like you... So, I'm gonna probably change that to remove that, or say not remove the rule, but I'm gonna just like stop showing you those items sooner. All right, here we click on this item, we go forwards in time, we click on this, and then what we do here is we hit M, and we travel to the Temple of Atera. The reason we do this is because once we load in, we then open up the map again, and then click Lotus Halls, and then we're back to the start of Lotus Halls. All we need to do in that zone is go to one of the two areas on either the far left, like we did there, or the far right of the zone, pick up the orb, and then we just simply come back down here, down this ramp, and that's it. We can move on to the next zone. This saves us from backtracking, this saves us from having to do any other weird stuff. We just save literally over a minute of running, which is great. Alright, here we pick up more Spirits of the Time, and now we hold W. And we're about to get to the last boss of this act, and then we'll do some crafting really quickly. And then we'll, you know, hold W for the next zone. Luckily, the next act is pretty quick. We just have to do one side quest, and then we move on. Which is great. Where's the dot items? Yeah, the dot items are to collect shards ahead of time for... what's the need for? Do we need this? No. I have more than enough items. It's like dot shards for volatile. So, like, once we swap over and once we start picking up the timer nodes, we will have quite a lot of dot shards we can craft on our gear to get a really big, massive boost in damage immediately. But yeah, I really need to remove some of it. There is way too much of it that shows up through the filter. Way too much. That's okay, right? Like, it's better to have it be Okay, it's better to have more than to have, barely just enough. Just so, a new player has a little bit of an easier time. Like, I'm glad I'm showing all these, like, red items, which are going to stop showing up soon, by the way. But all the red items are there for, like, poison res, poison fizz, Necker res, just so you have a lot of options to work with. I feel like I picked up. All right. Cool. Let me go here. All right, you know what? I would say it's a pretty good pace. 1 hour, 20 minutes to get this boss with me stopping, explaining everything, taking my time. All right, we can probably take the second plane catapult now. But given how slow I'm going, given how I'm explaining everything, given how we're taking our time, not bad. And like, if you're a new player following this, getting to this point in 1 hour, 20 minutes, you're speedrunning. You are literally speedrunning at this point. Like you are zooming. You're having a great time. Again, I expect the average player who doesn't like follow a build guide to take about 8 hours or so to get through their first run. You're already basically a third done in an hour. Like we're zooming. We are absolutely zooming. Guys, so I mean, it's like half and half, right? It's like YouTube Allie, Twitch Allie. I'm just, like we're talking to chat, but we're also talking about, what's I'm making for? I'm also trying to like give useful info for, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm like talking too much. Maybe I'm giving too much useful info. I don't know. Like, maybe like half the people currently watching us on YouTube just want to say, God damn it, Allie, shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch. Shut up and just fucking hold W. You fucking, like, I don't know. Anyways, up the stairs. Like, maybe there's some people want me to shut up. Maybe there's some people who like listening to me yap. I don't know. I'm pretty sure half the people are probably like, Allie, shut the fuck up. Holy shit, I'm gonna fucking close the video right now. I don't want to listen to you yap for another second. I'm gonna open up the build guide and just listen to the build guide. Alright, let's do some crafting really quickly. Let's look through our gear. So, we are now in the necro damage area where we want a bunch of necro res. We don't need that much, but let's see what we can do with our gear. Fizz, poison, that's really good for later on. I'm gonna put that on. We'll put all the rest of the gear here. Throw away. This is throwing damage on it, so I'm gonna quickly shove it in here and shatter it. Oh, I don't have any shattering. Okay, whatever. So throwing is worth it. We got throwing damage. I'm pretty happy with these gloves. Health region's good. Dodge is pretty good early on. So let's upgrade the throwing on these. What's my... Actually, hold up. Before I do that, let me look at the rest of my gear really quick. Especially my amulets. Fizz res amulets with cast speed on it. No, I like mine. So instead of actually doing this, I'm gonna take my amulets and put my throwing damage on here. Because this is a good base with decent rolls on it. So cool. Alright. P2. Got another dodge roll for free. I like the dodge. We can keep the dodge. I'm gonna actually Glyph of Chaos. I have 10 Glyphs of Chaos. Oh, I can't until 29. Let's look at the helmets really quickly. That helmet's kind of bad. I like my helmet. Poison Fizz. So let's take this. Poison res. Make sure I don't have the Glyph of Chaos in here anymore. Upgrade this to T4. Perfect. Can't upgrade anything else. Take this. Upgrade the Fizz res on it. That's pretty good. I guess I can upgrade the Vitality too. Why not? On my weapon, do I have any shards? Oh, I do. Great. Let's upgrade the Ignite chance. Upgrade the Poison. Nice. We have a big weapon now for damage. On these, we have open suffixes, so we can craft some resistances. Actually, that's with life. This is cold damage on it. What does this have on it? Oh, that is a movement speed ring. I'd rather keep this for longer, so... Take this, put some health shards here. Oh, nice. I got a free upgrade on my throwing damage as well. Cool. Great. Lots of health there. Upgrade this again. Might as well. I'm going to keep this ring for a very long time. I have 1 fortune potential. I'm going to put a res on here, too. Let's put a necro res shard on here. Great. Boots. No movement speed shards, unfortunately. Do I have movement speed shards in these boots? No. All right, I'm going to start throwing some stuff on the ground. At this point, this Ignite Relic is kind of useless. We don't really need to Void Res, so we're going to throw that on the ground. Plus, this has health and Poison Res on it. That's a lot better. I'm going to keep this for a while. Base is good. Let's upgrade the Poison Res there. How's my Poison Res doing? Perfect. We're capped. So we're capped on Fizz, capped on Poison. Now if we can get a little bit Necrotic, that's going to make this next act a little bit easy, but we don't... I don't have any Necro Shards, do I? No. Do I have Necro on any of this? Oh, this is Necro on it. I can take this and shatter it for a Necro Shard. Got one. Do I have anything else that has Necro Shards? The Necro Res on it? I'm pretty sure I picked up a few items with it. Necro Res there. Great. It's a little bit RNG. Alright. This, I can shatter. That's a big Fizz rod. Alright. Let me throw some gear on the ground. We'll keep the dots. Throw that away. I don't need that anymore. Throw that away. Oh, I can put this relic in. Keep that for dot. Right. So we don't need many. I think this is enough. I'll just stop picking up side dot items after this. That's whatever. That's whatever. That's Necro and Poison. I can share that for some shards later. That's pretty good. I don't need Avarice anymore. Don't need that. Don't need this. Okay. All right. We're pretty good on gear. Cool. Great. And then, yeah, let's put Necro Res on. All right. That should pretty much be all the crafting that we need to do all the way up until, I don't know, we swap over Devouring Orb, right? We have Cap Fizz, Cap Poison, Decent Void, Lightning is whatever, Cold's whatever, don't really need those. Decent enough Necro, 500 life, we're gaming, we're having fun right now. We're stepping up some Void Bolts, we get a lot of damage. Everything should be super comfy. I literally could get away with not picking up another piece of gear off the ground and look for upgrades up until Devouring Orb. Please don't do that. Please pick up items. Please upgrade your gear. Don't do that. Alright. Now we just get the whole W. Buy shatter. Yeah, I guess we can buy shatters from the vendor. Like, if you need more shattering shards, you can go to the vendors, the ones that have, like, the chestplate icon in town, and you can buy shattering runes for 2,000 gold each. So, if you'd like a few more, I would recommend do that. Our gold's literally doing nothing. I could buy 6 of them right now. You know, 6 shattering shards would do quite a lot for me, but don't really need it. Oh, nice. Warpath and movement speed. But, yes, you can grab a few more. Well, we can hold W. Warpath's going to kind of kill everything for us. We do a few holy trails. And just send it. Most of these mobs in here kind of suck. There's a few of these skellies that will group up together really nicely, and they're good to kill for XP. But, like, these big guys, like these, like, that's worth attacking for some XP. Otherwise, just hold W to the zone. Like, that's pretty good to attack a holy trail with. Camera shards removal, the item. Yeah, but, yeah, that's true, too. So, if you ever, I guess another thing to mention is if you ever do have an item with only one stat on it and you really want that stat as a crafting shard, or just in general, right? Like, if you want a specific stat as a crafting shard, you should use runes of removal. These ones, the red X ones, but they're kind of rare, so we don't have any to work with right now. But you should use those first, as if that removes an affix off of your item, it guaranteed gives you affix shards. If I just use a rune of shattering, it is not guaranteed to give me affix shards, right? So you want to removal until you're out of forging potential, and then from there, just shatter once you're out of forging potential if, you know, you still didn't get what you want. Yeah, that's also pretty important to mention. What slam do you like on a Firestar Torch for Sentinel? Dot damage is pretty good. Well, depends on where you're gonna level. If you're gonna level like bleed, like hammer throw, which is pretty good with like leveling gear. Well, I guess you just level like Ignite hammer throw with that. So just put on, yeah, dot damage on it. Or like a big ass ignite roll, like a T7 chance to ignite would be pretty good. Yeah, that probably is a little bit better than I don't know. Both are good. All right, here we just want to go north, and then here we literally just hold left all the way until the door. We do not want to interact with anything in this area. The game will try to tell you to like go talk to certain NPCs, do certain things. You don't need to do half of that. And this zone kind of sucks. There's not much XP to gain here. I'll stop at despair because there's a lot of monsters on top of it, but this area sucks. Not very good. We just want to move on to the next area. Ooh, movement speed boots. That's a lot more movement speed in my boots. I'm just going to put those on. Those are great. I want the movement speed. 13% movement speed, 10% base. Mine are 8%, 10. Yeah, and I can shatter these now for movement speed, affix shards, and put them on my boots for even more movement speed. Great. Okay, up to where we run, we're going to go all the way to Monoliths. And I'm going to quickly show what Temporal Sanctum run would look like, but we're not going to do it on this character because I don't want to sit here and farm for 2 hours for, right? But we'll quickly show a Temporal Sanctum run after this. Let's hi, Sally. Hello. All right, another level here. We pick up more Spirits of High. So we're getting close to where we get Dev Orb, right? Again. Oh, I shouldn't put a point there. We should put a point in Void Wolves. Whatever. We have a lot of damage. Up to you. Pick up Abyssal Endurance if you want to be tankier. Pick up Void Bolts if you want more damage. Like, you can unironically vibe out the tree. Like, if you've never played an Allie guide before, I typically try to make them that they're like so brain dead, so simple to follow that you can just do whatever you want half the time and you'll still have a pretty good time. And then when you combine that with the fact that in Last Epoch, you could literally do whatever you want and still succeed pretty well through the campaign, where the campaign is meant to be a tutorial. Yeah, pick up Abyssal Endurance, pick up Void Bolts, pick up whatever you want. You'll have a good time, no matter what. It's great. Oh, okay. Sorry, do you focus on more Vitality and Max Life? What's the difference between the two? Both. Because Vitality is a prefix, and Life rolls are suffixes, so you get both. Vitality can only specifically roll on helmets, chest plates, and boots, so, you know, you don't really have much pressure there. And there's not really that many good mods on those items that really competes with Vitality. Early on, Vitality is really good because Vitality directly scales your Devouring Orb and your smite damage. So you get a lot of free damage from it. You want to heavily prioritize Vitality as you get closer to Devouring Orb. And once you do swap over Devouring Orb, you do want to pick up as much Vitality and craft as much Vitality in your gear as possible. But later on, like once we get to like the extreme end game of min-maxing, you can make an argument to where it's better to put on other more damage-oriented prefixes on your helmets rather than Vitality. But there's no competition. Whoops, I went the wrong way. Go up here. There's no competition between the two, so you know you want both. You like. The thing about Vitality in the early game as well, right, outside of it giving you more damage, is that it also gives you 1% poison necro res, so it makes res capping substantially easier. You know? Alright, here in Risen Lake, we want to go to Corrupted Lake because there's a passive lane for us to get here. And this area is pretty easy. We just want to basically go in a giant loop, right? So we're here. We want to get this waypoint, but we have to go like this. Giant loop, right? Giant clockwise loop to get. So basically just like hug the right wall, the top wall, the right wall, whatever you want to call this. Right wall relative to my character where I'm running. And you'll get there. I enjoyed it in air. Have fun. At this point, there, isn't much else to say other than just like talking about like how to. Oh, sorry. Actually, here you want to go left, not right. Don't like super hard hug here. Go left and go this way. Anyways, not much else to really say about leveling at this point other than after this act is the poison act. So if you weren't able to do as much crafting as I was able to do at the start of this act, again, just keep picking up gear. Keep picking up like poison, necro gear off the ground, and once you get to next zone, the desert area, try to do another crafting session there. I'm gonna probably not do it because I don't need to. I'll mention it, right? Just so you remember that, hey, you should probably do a crafting session here. Just in case you need it. But yeah, you still have quite a while to go until you really need that poison res. So you're good. The right much about it. Already found the key to skip with? Just an endgame. You can just drop literally anywhere. There's not much like thinking behind it. You simply just play endgame, start progressing through endgame, and whenever you get the key to drop is whenever you go and do the thing. It could take you 30 minutes, it could take you an hour, it could take you 2 hours. It's not gonna take you more than a day, that's for sure. Right, but it's okay. Even if it takes you all the way up until Empowered Monoliths to get a key to a Temporal Sanctum run, it is still more efficient to do that than to actually go and run to Act 9. I know in Season 1 and on launch, people freaked out about it. They were worried about it. They're like, Allie, I haven't gotten a key in like 4 hours. Should I go and do Act 9? No. Literally, just stick to endgame. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about your item faction. It's not the end of the world. Just keep moving forward. You're a story. You're okay. Don't need it, right? There was a point in the game where item factions did not exist, and we got to endgame and we did super high endgame things without factions, right? The point is, if we could push to thousands of corruption without item factions, you don't need them, right? They're just nice to have to make the game easier, but you're fine without them. Alright, here we kill the boss. We just want to dodge his abilities, kill the worm, dodge his abilities again. Not much to say. Worm. Oh, unfortunately, we can't look at that right now, Cat. Later, we kill this. We get a passive point, hit M, and then go back to the Imperial era, and then Risen Lake. Continue. Demo by last epoch. Anything to look out for before purchasing? Is there a stash up stuff like PoE? You getting game points, or fine just buying the same edition? Well, oh, whoops, I didn't click. My bad. Well, if you're interested in buying last epoch, I would appreciate if you buy them on my Nexus store. They just give you a Steam key or a GOG key or whatever key, right? Wherever you want to play the game on. The devs get a bigger cut. I get a portion of it, and then Steam gets less money. So if you hate Steam, Beishi, right? Support your local e-girl. But in terms of actually just buying it, or if you just want to buy it on Steam and say, whatever, fuck it. Nope, just buy the cheapest version of the game, and that's it. That's all you ever care about. You don't really need anything else. This game is not pay to win like PoE is. You pay the sticker price, and then that's it. There's no... This game doesn't... Oh, yeah, this was a regional pricing, so it might be a little bit cheaper on Nexus. But anyways, this game isn't like PoE. Okay, here we want to go right. I know the game's telling you go left and talk to a person there. You do not need to. Go right. It's a waste of time. But sorry. The game doesn't have like hidden purchases like PoE does, where like, yeah, technically PoE is a free game, but you're like actually playing PoE without, stash tabs. Have fun. You are not gonna have a good time in the end game if you do not have stash tabs, so have a hidden purchase, right? This game has nothing like that. Stash tabs are something you purchase in-game with gold. I believe your first stash tab costs 10,000 gold. I already have 13,000 gold. And they cost 10,000 more gold per stash tab from there. So the next one's 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, so on. And I believe you can purchase a total of 200 stash tabs in-game, which will cost you a total of 100 million gold, which is actually pretty reasonable to do. You could farm 100 million gold within a season, and you could buy all 200 stash tabs if you want to. To keep in mind, the stash tabs are season specific, so you'd have to rebuy the stash tabs again new season. But the point is, by the time you make it to endgame, you have enough gold to buy like 10 stash tabs. And the stash tabs are pretty big in this game. And they have another really nice features that, you don't get in PoE. Oh, also, what happened right there is we got a yellow item. starting around this point, you're going to start seeing yellow items. If you see one of those, that's an item that's meant to be picked up for the Devouring Orb slot, right? So, like this wand, right? This is a pretty good base with cast speed, and yeah, right? Like, this is a pretty good Devouring Orb wand to start with, I guess. That's the whole point of that. So this, and go next zone. Not as profitable, they'll never make you buy DLC. Yep, exactly. Hot regen mana when spamming hammers. You're, as I mentioned, the Rin Guide, you really are looking for the hybrid rolls on your rings. Really, really, really need to look for them. You're going to have a few mana issues until you get yourself those rolls, right? So you might want to, alternate a little bit between pressing some javelins and pressing some hammer throws as you're like walking around, but the hybrid rolls fix all of your mana problems. Any items to use Rings of Ascension on? Not really. I'd hold on to them for now. Like, I guess technically, like, relics for Code of the Erased Sentinel, but honestly, it's kind of useless given Code's really common. I'd say save them for another build if you want to play something else, or just save them until we figure out something that's actually worth using it on, but right now I can't really think of anything worthwhile. The Fallen Tower, this zone, is where we need all the Necro Res for. This area sucks. The thing that, like, makes it so difficult are all the little shitheads. Like, here, I'll try to point them out here in a second. Oh, casting shield. Yeah, so that was... where are they? Oh. These little shitheads right here. Hold up. Where are they? Are they? These. The little fucking marsh beetles. These things fucking delete you. They hurt so much. And there's so much, like, necro damage between, like, the soul cages and all the different, like, necro mobs at the end here. This area is really painful if you have no necro res. So this is what we need necro res for. Yeah, we're coming up on Act 5. This is where we're going to need the poison res. So, again, we'll do our crafting session up at the end once we finish up the boss and move on to next one. Nexus, yeah, appreciate you. I mean, yeah, you don't need that many unless you play Circle of Fortune. All right. Let's put passive points in. Oh, okay. So we got to Devouring Orb. So now, if you did end up taking Volatile Reversal for a few levels to, have it as a mobility skill, or if you just didn't take anything, this is when we are now going to pick up Dev Orb. For now, what we're going to do is we're going to take Dark Moon, we're going to take Abyssal Rush, and we're going to take Cosmic Impact, and then we're going to pick up Void Adept, Howling Orb, and make our way to Abyssal Mission. So, for this leveling run, my Dev Orb is not going to do anything because I'm playing, on the old version of the build. But at this point, with this setup, as you're walking, you're going to start playing a somewhat Autobomber, right? Because you're going to have Abyssal Rush, and then your Abyssal Rush is going to start auto-casting Dev Orb for you. You're going to have to put on your bar, otherwise it's not going to work. But at this point, you are now a Autobomber, right? You are going to do some Dev Orbs. I don't know, those Dev Orbs might even do so much damage that you don't even need to press Hammer Throw anymore. They did kind of buff Dev Orb damage a little bit. So who knows? Maybe at this point you could just, like walk like this and just auto-bomb everything and start having an okay time. If not, press some Hammer Throws on top of it, and you should have a pretty good time with both Hammer Throw and Dev Orb. Killing everything, given Cosmic Impact and Abyssal Mission are kind of broken for early game damage. Right? So yeah, you technically become a budget Autobomber right now, technically. But, I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm, I mean, I guess I could press it if I want to, right? Like, we could press it. Not worth to. Yeah, not really worth it. Oh, actually, let's see. If it, I don't have a spell damage weapon. Nah, this is fucking... No, without Abyssal Mission, that's Pepega. That is actually Pepega with no Abyssal Mission, but, we got cute little balls flying around here, I guess. Something. Yeah, I put 8 million gold to buy... Oh, sorry, I thought it was 100 million gold. Not... Oh, okay, 10 million gold is literally nothing. Yeah. That's literally free. Waiting to scale Dev Orbs. We'll talk about it once we swap over to Dev Orb setup. I don't want to get people confused that are going to follow along with the leveling VOD, but it's all in the Rin Guide, right, if you want to look at it for now. But to begin with, I guess TLDR, we're just going to get some spell damage, right? You get a spell damage weapon, right? I have one here. We're holding on to, but we're just waiting for a few more passive points before we properly swap over Dev Orb. For now, we're just going to press Hammer Throw. Right. We literally just pick up the Dev Orb, so it starts gaining XP. As you can see, it's behind. I have cute balls? Yeah, exactly. We have fucking cute little balls. This zone's kind of miserable too, I guess, if you don't have any. Yeah, this area is also pretty bad if you don't have Necro Res. I recommend stop here, do a little bit of crafting. Try to put some Necro Res on your gear if you don't have much Necro Res. I'm just going to run through it, 40 res, it's fine. But these Wraiths suck. And then there's a few Necro Res enemies in here that suck. Everything in here sucks. This area is not fun. I guess it's more lightning damage, huh, the Necro. Yeah, it's more lightning, but a little bit of both. You want like Necro. Oh, I guess. Oh, sorry, I'm wrong. I thought. No, okay, this is damage, the necro damage. So sure, sorry, get some laning res if these guys hurt, but you also just run by everything here too, as long as you're keeping up with XP, right? Like I'm a level down, but whatever, good enough. Deborah, we get Abyssal Mission. Any plans for totem builds? Nope, not a fan of it. Not a fan of Prime. I'm never gonna play Primalist build. I'm just not a fan of it. The like class as a whole sucks because it's super outdated and old. So until they rework it, which is probably not happening for a season or two. Ow! I kind of inted my health pots here. Holy shit! All right, well, what did we learn? Don't try to do that zone with like 5 lightning res. I say leveling faster. Shut up. We're specifically going slow, so we could do a leveling run out of this. Okay, at this point, we're gonna pick up Void Bolts because we're still playing a hammer throw build technically, right? We don't care about the Dab Orb. And then, oh, Aphic Shards, so. We're specifically, ow. Whatever, we'll just deal with no lightning res. How much lightning res do I have? 13, yeah. Whatever. Once we get out of this zone, there's like no more lightning damage that we take, so I'll just. Get smart so people think you're not washed. I'm literally... Okay, this is a 1 hour, 40-minute run with like me spending 10 minutes at the beginning of the video literally just yapping. Like we're still going pretty damn fast. Given we're like, you know, like a few minutes away from technically finishing Act 5 run. It's gonna be like a 140. Which is still pretty fast. Fun for me to make fun of you? Alright, listen here, bitch. Fuck you. Listen here. No worries to raise risk? No, there's no worries in this game. Alright, here we can kind of just AFK. If you wanna... Oh my god, look at my fucking poison in my attacks. But here, the only chance of dying is when he does the slams. A little like circle under you. Otherwise, you literally just AFK. Well, it can only kill you if you crit. If he crits you. Otherwise, I'm just gonna stand still. How much dodge chance do I have? Oh, we got 10% dodge chance. Can I keep it? I've dodged every single, like, big auto base, then it's funny. Warp Path be better for leveling? It's not necessarily that's better or anything. Just jump here. If you want to level with Warp Path, go ahead and level with Warp Path, right? Can you run a Javelin? You could, there are ways to level nothing but Javelin, sure. I don't know how you would level pure Javelins, right? Typically, the bog standard meta is Hammer Throw plus Javelin, but, you know, again, there's other leveling methods, just the one I like. Warp Path might be faster. It's not. Okay, so... here we go. Next 2 zones are the really cancer poison areas. So please stop right here. Go with your gear and go and do some crafting. Please, please, please try to get some poison res on your gear if you can. You are going to get misery if you don't. I can't really do much, so we're going to hold W. I mean, I'm poison res crafting, so please. These right here. This is the bane of this area. These hydras. When they jump at you, they poison you. And you will die. Look how fast I'm dying. These will kill you. If you have very low poison res, what I'd recommend for you to do is to Holy Trail in front of you and run. And then Holy Trail in front of you and run. And just hold down. That. These hydras, the little worms, are why this area is the like most difficult zone in like the leveling experience. This place sucks. Yeah. But yeah, Warp Path is not faster, I can tell you. From a speedrunning perspective, it is not faster. I can guarantee you, I will never be able to say, I will not... Oh, what's up? Fucking stacked up. Also, this is like the worst case scenario where like a lot of them stack. If a lot of them stack up like this, just keep moving. Whatever. Just get out of the zone. Sorry. I will never beat my hammer throw time playing Warp Path. Alright, so here, one more thing to mention. I'm now going to deviate from what you would do with the build. Please, from this point on, follow what the written guide says in terms of following the skill trees, right? So follow what this says for DevOrb, right? Because again, I am playing on the old patch. I cannot play the dot version of it. So I'm going to take Chaotic Torrents, and I'm going to play the hit version of DevOrb for the remainder of this playthrough. But for you, you would instead get Rift Collar, get World Rot, and get ready to play dots. Okay? Please do that. Do not do what I just did. Because again, what we have to do. But again, we'll talk about how to play a dot version of the build once we get to swapping, right? But for now, just, you know, keep hammer throwing. Nothing's changing. PoE one-shotting bosses was so much fun. I mean, you kind of do that in this game too. With leveling gear, you will literally one-tap every boss in one hit. Leveling gear in this game is better than leveling gear in PoE by a mile. I get a participate in the 5K race? No, it's a meme. I mean, it's cool. Whoever wins the race is going to be a Giga Chad, but let me put it this way. The race is going to take so long that I can literally kill Uber Abroth in softcore and then go reroll the hardcore and then maybe possibly compete for the 5th place slot. That's how long the race is gonna take. Right? The point is, it's given that it's gonna be a multi-week race, I want to, it's bad for content creation. Right, we talk to this guy and then the race is bad for content creation. Playing hardcore by itself is already innately bad for content creation because I have to play the game differently from how most people are going to play. And 2, I'd be heavily focused on the race and I wouldn't be able to put out the videos and the guides I'd want to put out. So, no. Because of that, I have no interest in competing in the race. And 2, it's going to take too long. It's really, really bad for content creation. This area is also the second area where we have a lot of hydras. So, again, if you have low poison resistance zone, also just, do your best to hold W and try to get through here as fast as you can as well. Hardcore is pure build testing. Yeah, like testing stuff in hardcore is also good for that. Yeah. Don't worry, we stopped taking notes a while back. Shut up. Right, this way. The right. Hardcore, maybe you could talk about it for the casuals. No, there's no need to. We're not numlocking it. Right, like I mentioned, I am running the build the way I'm running because I'm playing these builds. Right now you would be casting 3 dev orbs around you while playing. Is I gonna complete the race one day? I don't think he is. Maybe he is, which if that's the case, Space G, but I don't think Taito is doing the Abrock race. Now within 7 days, nobody's gonna kill within a week. I can promise you that. It will be impossible. It will be very much impossible. Here. Must we go through their bodies, we grab Abroth over and over again. Oh yeah, I can't fucking redo it myself. My goal for week 1 is to kill Abroth. Oh, I'm gonna die. Yeah, see, look, even with my poison res, I still almost died. So we're just gonna hold W, get out of this zone, and make it to the next zone. Because, yeah, welcome to how bad this zone is. You just get deleted. It's painful. Okay. Dating a side quest while campaign didn't see your start. Yep. Like the run will, contain everything I'd recommend for you to do as a new player all the way through. I'm literally holding your hand through absolutely everything in this run. So a new player can literally just like put on the leveling VOD, follow along, and you'll be able to get to endgame in about 2.5 hours or so. Right? 2.5 to 3 hours. Oh, I need chest plates. Ooh, that's just better. I'll take it for the armor. Numlock anomaly. We are numlocking anomaly. That's not changing. They're still numlocking. Does the guy have anomaly right now? No. Right. You asked about Dev Orb. I answered your question about Dev Orb. Not numlocking Dev Orb because there's no need to. Next season, it happens for free. Okay. Right. Kill this. Why not kill a scorpion? I just want to get out of the zone. Because I was going to die. Actually, you should have killed the rare for... Oh, I'm actually... Oh, you mean that scorpion... Oh, it doesn't give you anything. Alright, you meant the scorpion boss. It literally is useless. Oh my... Okay. If the boss ever does this race in the corner, you just have to walk away. Otherwise, you're literally not doing damage to it half the time. It's so annoying. This is one of the most... Stop! Okay, we have to stand on the side of him so the boss runs the other direction. Like you're... Not only is the boss's hitbox tiny as shit, so you're not getting like multi-hits with your hammer throw, but like... He just keeps... Also try to dodge the poison traps if you can. These things really hurt. Don't do what I just said where you walk into them. I don't get why this thing has ward. This thing should not have ward. Like, it's such an annoying monster to fight. Please stop. It's so annoying. Okay, great. What do I get for belts? Oh, that's cute. Guilds.
Let's bury it in the
Like Ulrich. Puppies. Yeah, I can't wait for it not to have word. It's so dumb that it does have word. Yeah, I'm a little behind XP, so we should kill a little bit more here. All the rares. There's a bunch of rares in this area. We have to kill everything. Or sorry, we have to kill everything here for the side quest anyways. Word bullshit's gone. I don't mind it. I like it. It's better than adaptive DR. But yeah, on like leveling like this, it's kind of annoying. Okay, we kill all that, then we talk to Crooks on the ground, get a free passive points, and move on. And here, now we pick up another point in Abyssal Endurance, and now we start picking up points in Brought Ripple. again is going to do something different for me because we're playing in season 1. Now how about season 2? We're playing in this. At least this boss is like a proper hitbox, so we can kill him fast enough. Yeah, it's nice how like my damage, like even though I've basically not upgraded my throwing damage. I don't have throwing damage on my relic. I don't have throwing damage on my amulet. Actually, I think I have it on my amulet. I don't have it on my belts, right? Like I'm still missing quite a lot of throwing damage. So everything's still super comfy. Make sure the boss isn't dying in literally 0.1 seconds, but whatever. I can just sit here, hold down my cape. Boss dies. We have a comfy time. Grabbing, yeah, fun. Camp Holy Trail. We stay inside the Holy Trail. We get to heal for free. Hold down hammer throw. Life's great. Life is great. Right. Go backwards and we go towards the waypoint. I say mana. I have 2 hybrid rolls on my rings, right? This is the number 1 important thing. Literally like a quarter of the leveling guide. It talks about how you need this hybrid roll on your rings. It's like by far the single most important thing when it comes to leveling. You have 2 of those, right? My hammer throw costs 5 full mana between those and between catapult. It's the most important mod to be on the lookout for. Go up here. And we go in the Sapphire Court. Okay, here, if you have a fire res, you just run through all these mobs. They'll chase you down to the boss, and then you just kill them by throwing like 1 holy trail at them. But there's just a bunch of archers. I'm just gonna dodge roll through them and lunge. And we're just gonna ignore all of them. All of them will chase you down. And then we get over here, dash over here. There should be a boss over here. You can throw a holy trail now, I guess, to start killing some of them so you're not as overwhelmed. I just keep throwing holy trails from where you can. I'll probably go to the third pack. Back this way. And yeah, all the all the archers should line up like that, and they just die for free. A little bit risky because they're all gonna, come around the corner and shotgun you. So yeah, on the lookout for that, but otherwise you should be fine. That's like don't use my mobs, not even using combos either. Yeah, imagine not having to use combos, not having to parry, not having to disengage with frenzy charges. I'm just holding down one button and having fun. Imagine a game, imagine RPG where the story is a tutorial where you can have fun, where you have a good time, learn the game, figure out what your build's gonna look like, figure out what you want to add into your build, right? And then once you get to the end game, that's where you finally get tested on whatever you put together during the story. Imagine a game with a proper progression curve. Not one where from the second zone, the monsters just immediately bend you over. Insane. Insane concept. Like no risk, I'm gonna kill here. Back up all this and kill this. Every monster doesn't immediately one-shot me the moment they touch me. I can craft at every point in the story. I can make my own gear. My gear can keep up with my character, my progression, and every skill is viable. Every skill works. We're having fun. We're having a good. Imagine ARPG that respects your time and lets you just have fun and instead of it being a fucking ultra super Elden Ring experience from the first pack of monsters that you fight. The first few hours slowly gets you into the game, teaches you about it, lets you have fun, lets you figure out exactly what you want to do with the characters. If you want to respec something because you don't like it, it's really easy to do so. You don't get screwed over, you don't get fucked over, you don't imagine just being allowed to experiment and have fun before being properly tested. Yeah, imagine exactly. Right? The wait in this game starts in Endgame. Right? And everything up until then is pretty relaxed, pretty casual, pretty fun. And, it gives you plenty of opportunities to fuck around with all the game systems to figure out what your build's going to look like. It's great. Imagine. Division, yeah, exactly. Clearly, I'm playing the game, the unintended way. All right, passive points. We pick up more points and ripples. Again, for me, this is literally doing nothing, but whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. Whoops. Okay, don't town portal there. We want to go to Imperial Era down here and to Mashelka. In low sun range, this one game's unplayable, I imagine. You should be having fun here. The mobs are too slow. Yeah, the mobs are too slow. They don't attack me at Mach 30. They, don't do 99.9% of my health. the rare mobs don't have stupid modifiers on them that make them like basically impossible to fight. Right? I hope people can see from like this leveling campaign why I keep saying last epoch is what PoE2 should have been. It is a proper slowed down version of the game where you get to have fun, where you get to play with combos, where you get to experience all the gameplay that PoE attempted to do in a non, talk and ball torture way. It's great. All right, so here we talk to this lady in town.
Yes.
We have to get a quest, otherwise we can't open the door. Then we're gonna go back to Shining Cove, and backtrack a little bit. So this is where the speed run would have ended, right? Like once we do this quest here, this is like where we like use as a timer for how good we're doing a speed run. Again, I yapped for about 10 minutes at the start of this run. I did go a little bit slow at the beginning. I did kind of int a little bit, right? Like we played kind of bad. But currently this is about a 1 hour and 40 minute run, ignoring the yapping, right? And my current record is 120, right? And like 120 is like demonically fast. So the fact that like we can sit here, yap, not concentrate, have a good time, explain everything, even stop a little bit and do a little bit of crafting, kill more monsters than I typically kill. Yeah, pretty good. We're only like 25 to 30 minutes slower than, how fast I'd go right now. So yeah, we're having a great time. Going pretty fast. I would say like most people would be very happy with the speed on launch. What's your yap record? Shut up. I'm not world first on yapping. Shut up. We're not, you don't have world first yapping. Unfortunately, most of the mobs here suck. Also, the cold guys. These guys, when they die, they explode for cold damage, so you don't have any cold res, you die. Oh wait, do they not anymore? You dodge roll down here, smile. You save yourself like 1 second doing that. How do you do that? Is there a way to not do the campaign? Sorry, but when I mean 120, I mean to Act 5, to this quest, right? This is theoretically the end of the campaign for like ultra advanced players that do like the ultra advanced leveling routes where you go into the campaign like the earliest possible, where, like this is the very much you don't want to do this route is what I'm trying to say. Oh, that's the damage over timer. I'm just going to keep that. That's just a good ring period. Right, but it requires a lot of optimization and a lot of like playing correctly, a lot of focus, a lot of like doing things, So yeah, we're about to be done, right? It's basically like a 145-ish minus the gap. That's pretty good. Pretty good for the casual run. Where like I actively like was like forcing myself to go a little bit slower too. Anyways, so this is where the Temporal Sanctum is, over here on the right. Like I said, we're gonna get to Act 7. We're gonna go do some monoliths until we get a key. And then we're gonna come back here and do a Temporal Sanctum run to skip directly into Act 9 later on. We do this quest because we need to get a passive point here. Make sure you pick up the tablet on here. Pick up that, and then we go inside Temporal Sanctum. And then very conveniently here, we just walk in here to get the waypoint. So you don't have to get the waypoint later. Otherwise, you have to kill that mob again. Grab the waypoints, and yeah, this is where we come and do Temporal Sanctum. Right, we shove a key in here, and we do a Temporal Sanctum run. We'll talk more about this at the end of the video. How to do that, but for now, we just go back to town, turn the quest in. 2-hour yap, got it, shut up. The fucking 2-hour yap. Shut up. Okay, alright, turn the quest in,
Yes.
and then let's put our passive points in. So, at this point, right, I'm also a little bit behind levels, but I'm level 32. That's why we say about level 37. It's give or take around there. You have 5 points in this, depending on, again, how much you kill, how much you don't kill, and whatnot.
Greetings.
Right, so all the levels, sorry, we talked to her as well for passive points, put this in here. And yeah, like for me, because we're playing in the previous season, I'll need to put 1 point in here. Smile. For now, I don't know why they nerfed it in season 2, so you need to put 5 points in it, but whatever. I'm only gonna swap once you would actually be able to swap yourself in season 2. I'm not gonna swap over to build until then. We're just gonna play hammer throw until I put 5 points of announcement, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, around now is when you seriously need to start finding gear to swap over to Autobomber. So try to look for cast speed if you can on your gloves, your weapon. As that'll give you a little bit more signature damage. Look for void damage everywhere. You get void damage on your belts, on your rings, on your gloves, on your relic, on your... Also, this area is a little bit miserable. All those places get dot damage, although the dot damage is not going to do that much. So don't worry too much about the dot damage to begin with. You can add in dot damage later. But try to find dot damage shards if you can. Try to keep some prefixes open on some of your gear if possible, so you can craft dot damage later. that mostly is going to be your rings, your gloves, your weapon, stuff like that. Outside that, look for vitality. So try to get a vitality chestplate, vitality helmet, vitality boots. Those are the only places where those rolls can happen, and they're going to be a pretty big increase. I do have a little bit too much gear up on it. Okay, so start looking for those items. And you need a weapon. Please do not swap to Devouring Orb until you get yourself a spell damage weapon. You cannot play the game with a melee weapon. You're going to specifically need a weapon that has, for example, this wand here has 12 spell damage on it at the top. You need something like that. Ideally, find a staff, right? Don't just like, right? Like find something good. If you can't find something good, it's okay. We'll discuss what to do once we're ready to swap over. But be on the lookout for any weapons that might drop with something, right? But if you have an alt backup, it's okay. You need to grab one later. I've actually done the backup multiple times myself because I've never like been able to find. Sometimes I've like not been able to find like weapons around this time. So okay, ye old backup is gonna come in handy. Running high gates, yeah, we're recording the leveling VOD. So I'm sitting here talking like to people who are following the VOD, but you know we're also like talking to the game ranks. Not this VOD if she hasn't taken a drink of water. Yeah, welcome to my stream. I typically like don't get out of my chair for hours or like get water or you know I'm used to. I can yap for 10 hours straight without needing a drink. This actually does make me think. I think I'm gonna make the weapon filter a little bit less strict because it does look a little bit too strict. A little bit too strict. I've only found one decent weapon so far, so yeah. Okay. So what do we need to change? I need to tighten the dots portion of it because too many dot shards were showing up, but you don't really need to get that many. And then I need to also, what's I making for? I need to untighten the starting weapon filter a little bit more because yeah, I've only gotten one weapon so far, which seems a little bit too iffy. The other filters seem a little bit too strict as well. I haven't seen like much gear. So yeah, I definitely think we're running a too strict of a filter right now. I'll fix that. What's it making for? Before like this VOD goes up and stuff. Oh, throwing item. I guess we don't really need at this point. That'd probably be better in 1.2 level in hammer throw. Nope. Nope. We're sticking with hammer throw. We are sticking with it. Smite will not be better. In my opinion, this is still the best way to level every sentinel. Weapon as much chance for different dots as possible. Up until, leveling hammer throw, yeah. So like for example, for me, I did all this with an ignited poison weapon. If you get fizz damage on a prefix on it, great, right? Like fizz damage prefix is good too because you do a lot of fizz damage with your hammer throw. But yeah, outside that, literally no other stat is relevant to your weapon. Just the ailments that you can apply through your weapon throw hits. That's all. We're almost at the boss here. I'm actually not killing enough. Hold up. Let me kill a little bit more. Falling a little bit behind next speed. Hold beforehand. At that. Okay, now we just gotta get 5 points of renouncements, and we can swap over to Devouring Orb. Oh yeah, also Holy Trail gives me so much regen, I can just stand here in the poison. I don't even have to move. Well, I guess I'm also poison risk caps, that helps me. Yeah, there's like nothing that's going to be comfier than this ship. My damage goes to be higher right now if I also, oops, I don't think I'm staying on my Holy Trail anymore. My damage goes to be higher if I actually like went and like used my throwing shards and crafted. Like I guess we could do a little bit of crafting really quickly. Right, like I could do this. I only had one. Ooh, health. I guess we can pick that. Ooh, armor shred. Oh, that's really good. Oh, okay, that's a really good weapon to level with. I'm gonna take that. Armor shred's like the best damage stat we could possibly ask for. Those boots are better too. Necro res, poison res. Sure. I need to clear my inventory, but I'm gonna do that in a little bit. Once we get to next town, I'll do some management there. For now, we don't need to, right? I guess one thing I'll mention, like in the like I'll put that like, since I guess I have to do a little bit of editing for this. I'll mention at the start, right, of the leveling VOD. If you feel like you need to stop and do some crafting, stop and do some crafting. Right? Like if you feel like you need to do it, right? Like obviously I'm gonna, you know, stopped a few times. I told you, hey, you should do some crafting here. Hey, you should do some crafting there. You know, obviously do as much crafting as you need to, right? You don't have to like only do crafting when I say to do crafting. Right? Always try to upgrade your gear if you want to, right? You better take your time with a run to have a comfier time than to feel like you need to rush. Right? There's no need to rush. Take your time. Make sure it's comfy. Make sure you're having fun. I guess for the rare, sure. Ow. That's useless. That's useless. Yeah. I'm so glad that we did this full run because, my god, is the filter a little bit too strict right now. And people would have a little bit of a rough time getting ready for Devouring Orb with this. You definitely make it work, but it... My throat hurts. Shut up. Hi, Nair. Right. Here, we do not want to go inside the purple rifts. One's useless. At this point, we're kind of holding W. We're kind of done with all side quests at this point. Although at this point, these don't really do any damage, do they? Oh, I guess we're buffs, huh? That's kind of cute. These still do somewhat relevant damage. Kinda. Not really. Alright, yeah. Still a bit behind XP. If you, like, killed enough monsters by this point, you'd be able to properly swap over to Hammer Throw, but... Yeah, it looks like I was a little bit too lenient on my monster killing. So, whatever. I'll just swap a little bit later. Okay. Man, I'm so sad we got so lucky on this run. I am so sad we got Riverbend on this. I would have loved to have those Riverbend for launch. I would have like been so much further ahead of everyone else with those. Oh well, it is what it is. Oh, we finally got a throwing amulet as well. Damage over time amulet. Okay, that for later. Alright, we're about to be in town. We can do some crafting here and get ready for... Get ready for...
If it weren't for you,
the swap over Devor. Then we need to put in 4 more passive lanes, and I could swap. At this point, you'd already be playing auto-bombing at this point. And you just like basically get to dash around, have a good time, and it's great. It's great. Like, this is where everything comes online typically, but those care about those. I should kill more. I need to go a little bit slower. I am not killing enough. So I'll take my time a little bit more and make sure more enemies die. Done with that. I guess I pick up Sightless Star now, huh? We get 35 as well. For now, we're just going to leave 35 open. 35 is going to be for Anomaly, which you'll unlock here in a little bit. Again, I guess you could put in Balta Anomaly if you really want to for a few more levels again to level with, but not worth it. We'll just leave it open for Anomaly. Anomaly's going to feel better. What happened? That monster like spazzed out. Okay, oh, okay, we got a weapon. Alright, I guess we're good. Man, that took a while to find a weapon. But thank God. Yeah, spell damage. Big spell damage roll. Perfect. That'll be more than enough to play. Oh, in this case, we got damage over time. Wow, we got a really good weapon. Like, this will be a perfect weapon to swap over with, right? Spell damage, damage over time, implicit, spell damage, prefix. That's perfect. Oh, I guess, sorry, to mention, yes, spell damage also fine too, not just void damage. Spell damage can also roll on rings, if I'm not mistaken. Perfect. We have a good weapon. We'll still talk about the alternative, just in case, no, you don't get a weapon off the ground like that. But I'm going to make sure you find a weapon. Believe me, I am going to make sure you are going to find a weapon. I'm going to flood you with weapons. At least up until like level 40 to really, really make sure you have a weapon for the swap. But like post 40, 45 or so, I'm going to remove them. I'm going to really make sure you do not have a bad time. Or can potentially like not find a weapon. But again, we will still talk about the alternative. Fuck killing these monsters. They give like no XP. We'll just keep holding W. We do not want to go in the side area to the right. Want to go to where they are. Talking about this playthrough at the moment is getting enough breakdown runes or gold to buy them. I mean, you don't need that many, right? Like, I did a little bit of like shattering it. You're not gonna get a lot, right? Like, don't expect to have a lot, right? That is a bad assumption to go into this with. They are very rare, or somewhat rare and uncommon until you get to endgame. It's just a case of like, you know, you should use up the ones that you do get if you do get some, and then you know, like if you really need to, right? Isn't like you should not rely on shattering for stats. It's just like if you need to, you could, and then you know if you don't need to, then you should shatter to get you know ahead of the curve when it comes to the build. Yeah, which ones I get mostly? Yeah, exactly. Right, you're simply just working with. Ooh, that's right. You're simply just working with whatever you find on the ground, right? And with like the crafting shards you find along the way. And like if you ever replace your item with something else, if you did a bunch of crafting on your weapon, sorry, on your like item that you're replacing, it probably has some pretty high tier shards. So you should probably consider shattering your old items because it'll probably give you a decent amount of shards that you already probably want in the first place anyways, you know? Yeah, I don't worry too much about it. All my shadows for you. I mean, yeah, once the, you know. Okay, I am starting to really fall behind XP here. I need to actually stop and kill a little bit more. I'm 6 levels behind now. There's a pretty good place to catch up here in a little bit. Unfortunately, like all of this act just has like no XP. And typically, I guess, yeah, I don't think there's been a point where I've ever been caught up with XP at this point in the game. It's always been a little bit behind. Yeah, because I remember, like, once we get to Hirobora, I remember, like, that's where the cold res boots can start dropping. And they always require, like, level 45, and I'm always, like, level 40 at that point. So, never mind. I guess nothing's going wrong. Oh, nice. We even got a CDR build. Odd. Put on at 36. Yeah, so sorry. You are going to always fall behind XP here. A little bit. It's just, I'm, like, really far behind XP, period. Would we use that? Nah, probably not. Let's have a little bit of cast speed, but that's not really what. Hats. Have on it. 2 min, poison res, health. Okay, technically 1 more level to go. Hats. I say I need to kill more and then I just like run by like 2 packs of monsters. Allie. That's fine. The zone after this is really good for XP, and then the zone after the first town is also good for XP. So, definitely lots of places to catch up. If needed. Also, right, again, right, I guess I should reiterate. I'll put this at the start of the video again. If you're okay going a little bit slower, you really should kill every loot lizard along the way. If you kill every loot lizard, I promise you, you will have the easiest time leveling ever. Right? So if it's truly your first time playing the game and you're still a little bit worried, even if like me giving you like a whole leveling bot to follow along with, just kill every loot lizard. You will get so many items, so many crafting components thrown at you that you physically, I know they're going to be rare, but you should still kill every single one of them. It doesn't matter. Still kill every loot lizard. You will have a joke of a time if you do that. All right. I'm going to clear my inventory a little bit here because it's a little bit messy. I don't need this anymore. I'll need it for later. I'm going to now start figuring out what gear I want to keep for the Devouring Orb swap. This is Armor Shot on it. I'll keep that. This is Vitality on it. Necro Wiz. Well, mine has Vitality too. Forging Potential. So I'll just keep what I have. That's a pretty good ring. Or amulet. We can keep that. I don't care about this anymore. I don't care about that anymore. I don't care about that. This is Frailty. We don't care about Frailty. I don't care about that. Damage over time. I can keep that. Right. Oh, I guess we don't need that. Why? No, yeah. I'll use it. No, I'll use the Armor Shred ones. No. We'll use this one. Round. I had some pretty good boots. These. I can shatter these really quickly. I don't have any shatter with them. But I like to put these on. Does Necro Poison higher movement speed than mine, right? Oh, I get minus CDR. Never mind. I'm keeping mine. Fizz Fire. Minus 5 Vitality. I'm keeping my chest plates. Erasing Strike percent health. Ooh, that percent health's good. This we save for shattering. 100% save that for shattering. This is useless because I have a 2-hander. So we're going to use that. Don't need that. Don't need that. That's just a great chest plate. Oh my god, we should put Vitality on this. How many Vitality shards do I have? 3. Yeah, we should put Vitality on this. That's just better. a lot, but that's so much health. I mean, put on now is an upgrade. Okay. This is useless. CDR belts. I'm just gonna put this on now for later. Bicycles, armor health. That's pretty cute. Okay. But whatever. We can throw it on the ground. Don't need that. And then these are some dot cards. And I had a pair of gloves too. I guess these are the gloves we use. Don't really need this. Although, I guess we can keep this. Sure. Don't need this. Don't need that. Oh, alright. So here's a bunch of gear that we saved that looked half decent. I'm gonna go to town really quickly just buy a shattering. On this, anything useful? Poison, no. Oh, CDR boots. Okay, well. Oh, double CDR boots. Okay, alright. Well, I guess we'll buy both of those. Sure. Great. Put that in there. Okay, well, let's make a new pair of boots then, really quickly. Well, those have 23 forging potential, so I guess we'll keep those. So let's shatter these. CDR shard. CDR and movement speed shard. Okay, make a Poggy's pair of boots here. Upgrade the CDR, and then upgrade the movements. Oh, we got a free movement. Okay, T4 movement speed, T4 CDR. That's pretty good. And then same for this belt. Oh, I have no more CDR shards left. Okay, that's fine. All right. What else do I want to shatter? This, because it's percent health. Does this have forging potential left on it? No. Okay, good enough. All right, cool. And then keep all this gear for later. Oh, I guess we don't need these anymore, huh? We just shatter those. All right. Oh, and then these bits. Oh, all right. Let's hold up. Oh, guys, dots. I have a bunch of. Right. Oh, let me shatter this as well. Shatter that for dot shards. Shatter that for dot shards. Oh, all right. Well, we have a bunch of gear ready to go. Oh, shatter this vitality shards. Right. I want more vitality shards. All right. Cool. Just a little bit of a quick upgrade. We still haven't. Oh, you have to. Oh, sorry. We have to go to town. I'm gonna say there's no way we have to do a side quest here. But yeah, quick crafting just because we can, and then we'll do some more crafting, and we'll talk about the gear for the devouring orb swap once we get there in one level.
The heart of the citadel is beyond. There is an exit near the Emperor's throne.
They say they'll fit # lizard tails. Didn't say why. They said, oh, it's more of a meme. It's kind of like a cow level thing in Diablo than anything else. Yeah, it's just a meme. Okay, alright. We just need to kill a few more mobs. We get 37. I'm probably just gonna finish up the axe with the hammer throw. Nah, no, I'm gonna swap as soon as we can, rather than wait. I was gonna say, I'm just gonna wait to hear Bora, but that's still quite a long way away, so let's just swap as soon as we can. Almost there. And then from there, we just have one more act to go, which is surprisingly pretty quick, and then we're in monoliths, and we're basically done. Right, it does kind of suck that, you know, we can't play our build properly until basically endgame, but hey, it is what it is, right? You're leveling basically the comfiest setup up until then, so at least I personally can't really complain. I'll take a little bit more time to make sure we kill everything. Spell crit. Go by there. And yeah, it's gonna be what, like a 2.5 hour run to, well, maybe a little longer because I'm gonna spend a little bit of time just yapping. So what, like a 240 run to monoliths? That's not bad, given how like I'm purposely also going a little bit slower. So yeah, if you can somehow like follow this run to T and get a time somewhere around it, great. You're literally already doing the story faster than most people, which is kind of cool. Like if you could do a 3-hour run, following with what I did, you are literally faster than people who have played the game and have done like multiple runs and like you're already kind of gaming. You're already like doing a really good job. Okay, one more point. Oh well, okay. I guess I'm missing one passive point. What am I missing? We're good. Get our last passive once we kill the Twee. Oh, sorry. Okay, 38 in my case. Gotta wait for 38. Right, because we didn't do college. If I did college, I would have enough passive points by now. Sorry. The swap's 38. The leveling run I did.
Stand down or die.
But this area is really good for XP, so we can catch up really quickly, so not an issue. And if this doesn't give me 37, the next one will give me 37. Actually, okay, you know what? I'm gonna at least kill the Emperor before swapping. Yeah, let's just kill the Emperor like this, just because that'll make things a little bit easier. You don't have to swap right before a boss, and like in case like your gear is kind of a Pega, and maybe like your gear is extremely scuffed and whatnot. Right, you won't struggle for the Emperor at least. So yeah, let's get to the Emperor and then swap after. We can swap walking to Hirabora. Did you go? Wait, you didn't go Scorpion? Scorpion doesn't give you a passive point. Does it? I don't think a Scorpion actually gives you anything. To find a dungeon key in mono's elite start seems like it'd be pretty difficult. It does not matter. The TLDR is does not matter. Whether it takes you 5 hours or 7 hours, you are still better off just going through the story. On average, it should take you maybe somewhere around like 2 to 3 hours to see a Temporal Sanctum one. But like, I don't know how else to put this. You should not be worried about it. You should not care about it. It does not matter. You should just progress into endgame. Even if it takes you all the way up until empowered monoliths to see a, what's it making for? A thingy. Does not matter. You should always do a story. It's never worth it to go do Act 8, Act 9. Typically a few hours on average. Playing quite a lot louder than other content creators making 20 guides. Yep, exactly. It's one of the pet peeves of a lot of content creators. They will just like put stuff out there to put stuff out there, right? Like for me, I like playing with my build. I like validating everything. I like making sure everything works, right? Like I play the build along with you people rather than just like give you a build to play that, you know, I may have okay, like for example, next season, obviously I'm not going to play this, but you know, everything is going to be as updated as possible. So I'd be doing like this build a disfavor by not keeping it updated, but you know, I'm not going to fucking give you like 7 other build guides. Where like next season, you'll get a build guide out on this because, you know, why not? And then, you know, you'll get a build guide on whatever build I end up playing. Miss on lots of favor does not matter. That is not a lot of favor. It is the amount of time that you waste going and doing Act 9 compared to the amount of favor that you gain. Like, you're still wasting time doing Act 9. They're still technically wasting favor, if that makes sense. The amount of favor is extremely relevant. Hammers are kind of busted? Yeah, hammers are busted. This first time last Epochers? Yes, I plan to literally hold your hand through everything. Plus, right now, we're currently in the middle of recording a leveling VOD that we're going to put on YouTube for tomorrow that people can follow along. So, they are part of the VOD. But I've literally talked like every talking point while doing this leveling run. I'm holding your hand through everything. Absolutely everything. While doing this. So, you know, I'm even like telling you what to craft and maybe like show some examples of craft. I hate this door. Door. Guys saw this the 4LP red ring and okay. That has to be a meme. That has to be a meme. There's no one stupid enough to actually put a 4LP red ring in their leveling guide. Or like in their build guide. Specific space, they get a lot more as you level up. Yeah, like you're completely fine, right? Like you don't need it. You don't need your what's the name for it? You don't need your faction up until empowered monoliths, and even then, you don't even need it in empowered monoliths. Right? We used to play the game without factions just fine. They did not change, buff, or nerf loot at all. Actually, they did nerf loot a little bit for factions. The point is, you can play the game with their faction just fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just hacking single player. I mean, yeah, but if you're gonna do a build guide, right? Like,
but now it is a monument to death.
Edge, more side this time.
I've been expecting you.
Cool. So we have anomaly, we have everything. We're just gonna kill the boss, then we're gonna do the big swap over.
I've heard.
Again, might as well kill this before doing the swap. Just in case your gear for some reason is complete garbage and you just like have a really bad time here, I'd rather you just get by the boss before, you know, like let's just like remove any potential maybe somebody somehow fucks up so badly or does something poorly or something bad happen, right? We're gonna kill this boss first. Although traditionally, I've always, so that like area after the town in Act 5 in the desert area, like the like underground place, that's traditionally where I've always swapped over to Autobomber. I've never once not swapped over to Autobomber in that zone. This is like new for me too, but hey, there's gonna be a lot of new people. Let's just really make sure nobody has any issues. No? You gotta take the Devouring Orb much slower. What will it be? Sorry. How are you going to take Devouring Orb? How much lower would it be than Rive, Warpath, or Racing Strike? Well, Rive and Warpath are not going to push as high as the Racing Strike either. This build pushed about 1,000 corruption normally, up, you know, for the past few seasons. I probably want to have the 2,000 corruption should be fairly reasonable to do with this, with all the changes that are coming in Sentinel. But, you know, you're always free to swap to Racing Strike afterwards, right? I'm personally planning to swap into Racing Strike for Uber Abra. Alright, so let's do these. Okay, well, let me go get waypoint. Sorry, let me go get waypoint. Do I have the waypoint here? No? Okay, I do. Okay, so we can go to swap. All right, let's do a swap. So let's go end of time and do the changeover. So let's swap over to auto bombing. Okay. So First, let's discuss RNG. So, like I said, you need a weapon to be able to swap. You need a spell damage weapon, right? In this case, I got this weapon. Dot damage, spell damage, right? Spell damage prefix, right? We're pretty happy with this. If you somehow don't get something, and again, I'm going to massively loosen the filter around these levels to make sure you find something. But if you somehow don't, come to gear vendor and check the gear vendor first. In this case, nothing. If you don't see something in the gear vendor, all you gotta do is come to gambling vendor. We're gonna go to weapons and we're just gonna roll for a weapon. So for example, here's a weapon, right? A spine rod, right? It buys for 3,000 gold. Good enough. Let's see, what do we get on it?
Looks powerful.
We got, okay, well this one's garbage because it has melee void, melee cold, whatever. This is probably good enough to swap. To prove a point, we'll keep this and try to swap with it. But no, I have a few attempts. So I can go buy a second one. Maybe this one's a little bit better. Wow, that one's just as garbage. Okay, we're looking for an open prefix. And roll. Ooh, that one's bad, right? Try to get one with high spell damage. It's 7 to 9. That's horrible. Do not buy that one, right? Try to get a high spell damage one. You also look at the Ds as well. You can get a wand, but you'd also kind of need a... No, try to get 200 weapon. It does cost you 500 gold to respec. So, sorry, to reroll. So, alright, my last attempt. Buy that one. In our case, I had 3 attempts for it.
Bad.
Great. Spell damage. There we go. Right. A little bit better. Is it wonderful? No. We can actually try to make this a little bit better. So what we can do in this case is we can take this. No, I can't make it any better. Oh, actually, well, I can improve the spell damage, but I guess I could quickly attempt to Glyph of Chaos as suffix. Okay, so we got a few items, right? Like we got a spell damage one here, we got a spell damage one here. We'll use this one. I guess we can try to save this one too. If this happens to you, put on a Glyph of Chaos here, and then try to roll these for something useful. So we got necrotic damage, crit multi, that's useless. Melee lightning, elemental damage. Well, there we go. We managed to roll into spell damage, right? So try that on any of the like weapons that you get. Try to Glyph of Chaos into void damage, spell damage, cast speed. Any of those are fine. Sure, we'll use this one. Right? It should be pretty easy to do so. All right, from here, let's swap over to our gear. So, oh my god, don't fucking, oh my god, let me, sorry, that's so loud. Don't do that. Do not do that. That is so loud. Oh my god, stop. Shut up. Okay. God, that is so, sorry, that is so unbelievably loud. Do not do that right now. Shut up. Anyways, so, let's go over what we did again. So, if you somehow don't find a weapon on the ground, again, we are looking for a spell damage weapon, high spell damage. So it's 42 spell damage.
Buy more flares, you dumb
Stop!
bitch.
I swear to God, I'm gonna ban you. Do not. I will ban. Shut up. This is like the one time where I'm serious. I will instantaneously. Don't test me. Shut up. Anyways, let me explain. Let me explain. So, you're looking for a high spell damage weapon. Again, I'm going to massively loosen the filter to make sure you find one. But in case you somehow don't, right, what you're going to do is you're going to check the gear vendor in town and see if it has a staff. In my case, it doesn't. If it doesn't, we're going to come over to the gamble vendor and we're going to look for a weapon from here to gamble. It costs you 500 gold to, reroll, so don't get too picky, right? And look for anything decent. For example, this Imperial Staff, 23 to 35, that's fine. There was like this one, 11 to 14, that's a little bit low. But if you have to take it, you have to take it, but you really shouldn't want to. That spell damage is the most important stat on this item, right? Try to get a spine rod if you can. They're pretty common. We like the dot damage on it. So, buy yourself some staffs. If all of them end up sucking, like this one sucks, right? Lightning damage prefix, crit chance prefix, garbage, right? What you could do to try and save it is open up your crafting bench, put it in here, and then use a Glyph of Chaos, and then upgrade the prefixes on it. When you do this with Glyph of Chaos, it will upgrade to a higher tier and re-roll it. So I just re-rolled to melee void damage, which is useless. We don't care about that. So unlucky. We got unlucky with the staff. That one's useless. But you can try the same for all these, right? And hopefully get something good, right? In this case, I managed to roll this staff, right? We have a good weapon off of that, right? But I could have played this one. I have 3 different ones. I'm going to give you so many more opportunities to find one. So hopefully you don't even have to do this. Okay. Anyways. Oh, right. I don't have gold to respec. Whatever. So, from here, I'm going to put on my spell damage weapon. Okay. Cool. And then I got myself this helmet with a little bit of vitality on it. I guess we have to use it, huh? I can keep using mine. Yeah, I guess I can keep using mine. But now vitality is extremely important. So, remember to not put a Glyph of Chaos in there. I'm going to upgrade the vitality on my helmets. E3, we're happy. I'm going to upgrade the Fizz Res a little bit on this too. That's pretty good. Maybe do a Glyph of Chaos on this and try to roll this into something useful. Probably not going to happen. So let's just upgrade the Chaos Res again. Oh, and we kept the Poison Res again. All right, cool. So there we go. 4 Vitality Helmet. Decent stats. We're happy. Same thing here. Has no fortune potential, we can't do anything else. And ideally, I'm going to try to Glyph of Chaos the strength. Pretty high chance to hit vitality. We really want vitality. Humans, I can't. Leave it be, whatever. Okay, cool. So we have 22 vitality. Pretty good. From here, we're going to ideally try to put some void damage and damage over time on our gear. So I'm going to take this new pair of gloves that I picked up off the ground with an open prefix. I like cast speed. Cast speed's good. And we're going to look for damage over time or void damage. Void damage is ideal over damage over time to begin with, because that's going to help you a little bit more, right? Delay the void damage rolls until later on if possible. But in this case, I don't have any. Make sure we don't use any glyph here. Put on some damage over time. Great, cool. There's a pretty good pair of gloves. Slap that on. Then I have this ring with damage over time on it, minion damage. I guess I can upgrade. Well, actually, in this case, I really want to put a suffix. So we should put on some like Ellie res. Right? We can put some life or some Ellie res. Actually, some cold res would be nice too. Let's put some cold res on it. That's a little bit better. I can try to glyph a chaos to dodge roll off of this. Perfect. We hit lightning res. Perfect. And then here, I can just upgrade the damage over time on this a little bit. Great. There's a high damage over time ring. And then this is pretty garbage. This is no fortune potential on it. I guess I can use this. Yeah, I got this ring. Health Void, pretty good starter. From here, I could put on damage over time on it. And then I could put, I guess I can save this. I can leave this open for, oh, I can put spell damage. I do have a void damage shard, but sure, we can put that on there. There we go. We prioritize the spell damage, damage over time. I'd rather upgrade the life to be a little bit safer. Great. That's fine. All right, cool. So there we go. Pretty good ring. So damage over time, spell damage over time, you know, some res, damage over time, cast speed. I guess I could roll this too. Yeah, we can roll like the mana region. Dex, for multi, yes. Oh, let me try. Big spell damage weapon, you know, sorry, flat spell damage with just some useful prefix, either spell damage or void damage. Oh, my amulet too, right? I have this amulet. Put this on. And what do I have left? I have a void damage shard. Let's just swap the void damage shard on there. Yeah. Void damage, upgrade the damage over time. Upgrade the necro res a little bit. How many necro res? Do I need to upgrade my necro res? What do my reses look like? Oh, my res look pretty good. I just want a little bit more fizz. A little bit of cold would be nice for next act, but this isn't too bad to work with. Do I need that necro? No, I don't. I'm super overcapped. Okay, I can try to... Oh, I can't clip it. All right, whatever. We'll leave everything the way it is. Cool, great. So, awesome. We don't need to do any of that anymore. All right, so here you also now unlock Anomaly. You're now going to go to your 4th specialization slot, pick up Anomaly. Here, we're going to take Void Touch. We're going to take Time Bubble. We're going to take 4 points in Temporal Mastery. Then we're going to take Time Lord when we can, so it's active around us. You're now going to want to actively numlock Anomaly. This is the only thing you need to numlock in the build. There's a link for it in the description if you want to know how to numlock, but we simply put on our bar, and this is going to just be something you permanently numlock around this. To begin with, like, this is kind of useless because we don't have Time Lord, so it's not around us, but whatever. We have this ready to go. We now have Devouring Orb. Again, you're going to be following the leveling tree here for your Devouring Orb. Please not do what I'm doing. I am literally using the old version of it because I do not have Season 2, but expect this correctly like this. You should have already been doing that this whole time. Javelin, we're now going to despecialize out of it. And we're going to despecialize out of Hammer Throw. And we're now going to pick up Smite. For Smite, we're going to immediately... Well, oh my god, I actually can't... Well, I can use Smite, but for Smite, same thing. Follow this tree. Follow the tree. You'll have a good time. In my case, I guess we'll go and grab all this, right? And then here, lastly, we're taking Volatile Reversal, which again, you're following the tree. I'm not going to be pressing Volatile Reversal because my Volatile Reversal is useless, but just follow the tree. And then for your last slot, once you get 50, and once you get 15 passive points in Paladin, you get some Symbols of Hope, but we don't worry about it until that later. Anyways, at this point, you should have an announcement. This is when you'd also want to go over to the vendor, or to the respec guy over here. And you would very quickly want to respec out of Void Bolts. I don't have the gold to do this. Oh, actually, no, sorry. Okay, this is a little bit awkward because we need at least 20 points to pick up Void Ripples. So we need 20 points in this portion of the passive tree. So I'd have to be a little bit cringe. I have to put a point in Abyssal Endurance and then go and respec and then take a point. I don't have the gold for it. But basically, you'd want to get rid of all your Void Bolt points because this is... I guess you can keep it. Actually, no, keep it for now. Make sure everything's comfy. If everything feels comfy, then drop Void Bolts as soon as everything feels good. Because there's going to be a lot of Void spell damage later on. But respec out of all these. Pick up the rest of Abyssal Endurance. Pick up Dark Maul. And then, you know, get rid of these points. From here, you would then start picking up Rock Rip. Your Rock Rip's going to be over here. And that's where your build starts becoming absurd. Anyways, at this point, we swapped over to our build so we can continue with the story. Should be a pretty easy time. So, in your case... Literally, as you move, right, you're gonna, you know, move around, and your Dev Orb is going to automatically be casted for you. For me, that's not the case, because again, I'm playing the old season, so I have to numlock my Dev Orb. So I'm going to numlock it, and now it's going to be casted around me, and we get to ignore it. And all you do at this point is you're going to use Smite for bosses, right? If you ever need some damage for bosses, you're going to press Smite. You're going to have your Volatile Reversal, which is going to be a traversal skill. For me, that's not going to be the case, because I'm playing, pre-season 2. We're going to press Volatile Reversal for moving around. Smite for rares and bosses as needed. Your Dev Orb should automatically do its own thing in the background. And then your Anomalies, a little bit useless for now until you get Time Lord. And then from there, you go and rush Swift Rest. And with Swift Rest, you get a lot of CDR. You get more Dev Orbs. You're happy. You're having fun. And then you get yourself some Leech and Sustain from Void Maw. Anyways, let's continue. So we put on our staff and let's go kill some stuff, right? For now, we just hold W. Everything should just die. It's going to be a little bit scuffed because I only have 2 orbs, as you can see. It is... and again, you have to watch me do all the stutter stepping. Every single little bit of stutter stepping, you see me like right there where you saw my character stop. That is going away next season. There will be no more stutter stepping. You will just be able to hold W, and the game will feel good, and the game will feel comfy. And it's only going to get better than, sorry, it's only going to be better in comparison to what you see on the screen right now. But here's the basic Void Knight swap. Again, you have to keep in mind, all those dot rolls I put on my gear, useless. I don't do dot damage right now. It is literally completely useless. The first few levels might be a tiny little bit scuffed, again, depending on what your gear looks like. You might have to stop a little bit, might have to go a little bit slow, but once you get a few more levels, especially once you get, what's the make it for? Once you get Time Lord on your Anomaly, which by itself gives you Void Red Shred, so you do more damage around you, and then once you get all the CDR from it, everything is going to feel really good. It basically needs... How did we play this build with this much stuttering? Oh my god, this is painful. How did we like this build with all this stuttering? Pain. Alright, here we get more points of atonement. Here we get Time Lord, so now we actually get a bubble around us, which makes it into a DPS increase. Right, look, we can now get a low key bubble. Oh right, they changed the way it looks. It's so much easier to see now. Yeah, now you just hold W. Walking stick is our walking simulator build, exactly. Yeah, you get a walking stick for your walking simulator build, but even with low CDR like this, with only 1 or 2 orbs, yeah, have a pretty comfy time. We're having a great time. Some packs might be a little bit awkward because if your Dev Orb doesn't specifically go through the pack, you just don't do damage. Right there. See, that mob took no damage because my Dev Orb just didn't hit it. So a little bit awkward at times, but it's fine. It's fine. You're gonna get Rock Grip. You're gonna have a much better time than I have with Rock Grip. So nothing to really worry. Once you get Rock Grip kicking in, you're fine. Okay. On your build, don't balance any attack and cast speed for the passive. We actually did change that. We are now getting a little bit of attack and cast speed. Not much, but we are getting some. It is not worth going too heavy on it, but we are fitting in a tiny little bit through Frenzy. But yes, I misunderstood how exactly Rock Grip works. And I guess I didn't misunderstand. I just didn't read the whole multiplicative portion of it like a dumb bitch. But yes, we actually did go about fixing that today. And, oh, we get lives. Let's go. Alright, so here you would take Rock Grip. I'm gonna take Woe, because, Rock Grip just doesn't do anything for me, right? Just for the sake of, my personal build. Well, ow, I have no cold res. I have 15 cold res. Okay, sorry. The only other thing to mention, right, for the rest of the campaign, because we're about to be done, at some point, try to stop if you can and get some cold res. This area is unbelievably heavy cold res. With 15% cold res like I have, you'll have a pretty miserable time in here. So do whatever you can. Can I actually fix this? In my case, is there something I can do? Oh, I have cold res here. I can upgrade the cold res. 0 upgrading potential. Fun. That. You really need some cold res for this area. Kind of like how we said you need poison res for that desert area. Otherwise, you have a really bad time. Same goes for this place. You need some cold res. So I'm going to have a pretty miserable time in this area, but whatever. It is what it is.
Be gone from this land.
It is what it is. We spent 2 hours today. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we spent 3 hours today discussing Rock Grip. We increased the DPS of the build by around 50% or so. Yeah, I guess it's not as bad. Only the shamans are really bad. The shamans completely kill you in the left portions of this area. But yeah, try to give yourself some cold res, right? Do some crafting wherever you can. Sorry, probably should have mentioned that a little bit earlier. Bora. Did you update build? Yep, everything is updated. Basically, the only change that we have to make was to the idols, right? We just changed our idols because that by itself balanced the slow. Swapping all the Rock Grip idols over to... Okay, 1 second. Anomaly, then we pick up Manipulation, so we get Swift Rest next. Here we get more atonement, so sacrifice doesn't kill us. And then here, well, again, useless kill. Unfortunately. Okay, we talked to the old man to get the quest, because we need to have the quest. Otherwise, we cannot do this quest. It's the second other quest in the game that requires you to have the quest before doing the quest. Otherwise, you don't get credit. And then we go up. Anyways. Yeah, the floating ice guys. Yes, those guys also hurt too. Anyways, so we add in slow by changing our idols around, and that kind of fixed everything. When it comes to attack and cast speed, we are now fitting in permanent frenzy, which I actually need to update the skill section to discuss it, because I did not change the section to discuss oh my god, the stuttering is awful. Why did we like this build? What is wrong with everyone? Okay, here there's a rare. You can see a ping right above the door. Make sure you kill this rare that is being pinged right next to the door. Do not skip it, please. Do not skip. Back. How did we play this build? Doesn't seem to have changed. Refresh. You might have like an older version, but we swapped our idols over to slow one hit idols, which balances our slow one hit and our time rot. And then for attack speed, we are simply just dropping the node at the end that reduces our attack speed by 10%. We're picking up permanent frenzy, which I need to discuss in the skill section for volatile reversal in terms of how you want to play that on bosses. Again, here. Okay, so you get the waypoints, right? You get the waypoint, and then you go down, kill this monster right here. Kill this. It's a spider. Oh, this thing. Sorry. The Eber. It's not a rare. It doesn't look like a rare, but kill this thing. Make sure you don't miss that. Ow. God, yeah, I'm not going to have fun here because I have no cold res. Oh, 7, yeah. Yeah, I think that's our first death outside the first boss, which I literally said is the hardest part of the whole game. It's fighting the first boss. God, that has been my first death this whole campaign, I believe. We died because we have no cold res. Anyways, we go down. We go in the ice caverns. And then here, same thing. There's going to be another ping right at the end by the door. Make sure you kill the ping. This time it's a spider. Do not forget to kill the spider. You need to kill the spider. Bounce around, cancel. Yeah, exactly. Like we have min-max rock grip as far as we can. There's like basically no way to min-max it without like something. Alright, see a little ping on the mini-map, on the tab map? Kill this thing. Do not go through the door to the next zone. I'm sorry. How did people actually enjoy this build? Oh my god. Like, it's fun. But, like, how did people actually enjoy this with the stutter stepping? Like, holy shit. We used to play this? Insane. Okay, we got some CDR. Every point of CDR is going to be a big deal. That means we get more orbs. In this case, I'm going to take the double damage again. Please ignore what I'm doing from past the trees because I'm playing the old version, but all the spin guide. But we're almost done. We're almost done. It's a 2-hour and 30-minute run-ish. Oh, because in my case, I should actually pick up some leech in my case. I have no. So the game, yep, this is what made me fall in love with the game. Like, it's a sick build. Like, kill the spider. It's a tiny ass little spider. Oh, sorry, it's a fucking big guy. Oh no, it's a tiny spider. Yeah, make sure you kill the spider. This. But now that I like actually have gone to play it again, I haven't played this build in a year and a half. Now I've got to play this build again. My god. We had some low standards. I guess my experience is spoiled because the Falconeer, right? Like Falconeer is like basically the most comfy build I've ever played. So, you know, when my standards got raised because of that, right? It's kind of makes sense. Anyways, yeah. I don't know. Full W. Get more second star. Stepping signets. I don't fucking like being sunlocked. Shut up. Shut up. Light, yeah, looking light sun. Ow. Ow. Ow, cold damage. The spooters, they hurt. They hurt. Build everything here. Oh, this also reminds me. I should change something about anomaly. As soon as we get the CDR nodes, we should pick up I'm gonna change the pathing and pick up immediacy because that removes one of the stutter stepping. Because currently we have the double tap anomaly, which is really cringe. Immediacy removes one of the tapping. Yeah, we're gonna change that. That's gonna make the build a little bit comfier for people. Alright, now we press smite on the boss. We walk around it, make sure our orbs hit it. At this point, your time rod should be kicking in, so your time rod should fucking delete the shit, but I don't have time rod, so I have to kill with hit damage. Enough. This guy, that. Push out these monsters though. I play RPGs for the pushiness. Not very pushy. Right? You can kind of walk through them, but there's not pushy. It's, yeah, you know, unfortunate. Unfortunate. Right? Game's not good like other ARPGs. Never be as good as them, right? If there's no pushiness. Fully spread with that? No. I mean, it's like it's a case of like cold res, it'd be fine. I definitely want with the double stutter stepping anomaly. I'm okay delaying the leech by 1 point. It's fine. Alright, here now we just hold right, and we just want to rescue everyone, and then we fight the boss at the end. And then we're almost done. Have like 5 more zones to go through, and we're at game. Did I miss anything on chat? Made a build a bit more hardcore as well with cap block and block effect. Yeah, our plan is to eventually go block. I don't think we need it in the slightest in the early game. Our build is so absurdly tinky to begin with that I feel like it's just a waste of stats. But yeah, in the mid game, 100% we are going block. We are basically increasing the EHP of the build by like 60%. The build as it stands with all the like basic default gear is strong enough to basically AFK in the middle of Abroth. It's basically strong enough to AFK on Abroth. Given I had a build that's slightly squishier than this last season, and I was able to AFK all but 2 Abroth abilities. So, you know, if we could basically, you know, make Abroth easy mode, that's to me proper, honestly enough tinkiness. Honestly, even for hardcore, that's probably enough tinkiness. Ow. Fucking ow. But yeah, I guess like if you want to get even tinkier, you'll have more than enough damage, especially given, you know, all the time raw is going to be broken as shit. So, I guess, yeah, you can make it, you can get block earlier. There, like that allows you to like, you know, do that before you get the timeout set. It's easy. Yeah, I guess fair enough, right? Fair enough. Might as well, like, who cares if you go tiny little bit slower, you might as well be even safer. Yeah, these right here, these shamans are basically the worst part of this area. The axe throwers will basically murder you. You're not gonna have fun. You're gonna be miserable, so be careful through the zone. If you already haven't experienced the fun and wonderful nature of the fucking Wengari shamans and the raiders and the axe. God, this area sucks. Second worst area in the zone behind the like poison hydras in Act 5. I hate this area. I mean, like I guess I'm Bizris capped or close enough to Bizris cap, so a bit better, but this area is awful. This area is a little bit pained. Damage buff, but loose set. Damage will be fine either way. Yeah, like, I guess you don't need... Yeah, I guess you just run the 2 set, huh? That's true. You can't just play the 2 set. Okay. I fully expect to die in this boss. I have no cold res. If I get hit by avalanche, I am just dead. So, expect a death here. We're going to focus down the Patriarch, because he's the spooky one. But I have, like, no health flask either. I'm just going to take a death. Yeah, I got shotgunned by the avalanche. That's what happens when you end up cold res, but whatever. We just respawn right here. The bosses don't reset, so we just throw our bodies at this boss a little bit. It's like the only boss that you ever like consider throwing your body at. It's like the only one that's like really annoying because like right here, I got stunned like 3 times in a row and I couldn't move and like all this stuff. It is what. As soon as this guy dies, we're a lot safer because cold damage. And this guy just spams you with cold damage. Not the only one haunted by the murderous white box. Yeah, I've had the white box for years. Like sometimes it goes away, sometimes it doesn't. No, it comes and goes. I can't fucking stand still. 7. We love having no cold res. Alright, I'm gonna edit this in before like this act. Please make sure you get cold res for here. You'll see why in a moment. Yeah, I forgot. I should have gone more cold res. That's on me. So that's what it looks like it. Yep. And now imagine, you see all the stutter stepping I do, right? It's like every time I like cast my dev orb and stuff. That's not going to be a thing next season. The build is even comfier than this. Alright, we did it. We got through the second hardest boss in the game. We did it. Alright, get the horn. And then we go to town. And we turn everything in. Okay, so we had 1 random death. Okay, I died to the first boss once because that boss again is the hardest thing in the world. I died once, like right before the swap, because I fucking entered or some shit, and then we died like twice.
Yes.
Alright, so now we are missing one idle slot. All we have to do to get it is go up here to Tomb of Mortis, kill the Twee, and then that's it. We're done. So we're now going to teleport over to Tundra, finish up the last portion of the story, and then go to Endgame. Trying to res, but you can also take 100% slow on hit, which is straight up damage buff. Might be worth in softcore. I guess that's true. Yeah. The problem is res capping is really fucking hard. We'll look into it, I guess. Yeah, I guess it'd be worth it to attempt to figure out a way to fit that in. But res capping is really, really rough. Yeah, you lose a ring affix, which I guess is probably fine. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, well, add it as an yeah, you know, okay. For season start, no. I want to be new player friendly. That's not new player friendly, right? Taking the res blessing is more new player friendly. But yeah, I can add it to like the blessings section, and then we could talk about it like an update video later on, like once people have better gear. But we definitely should fit that in. It's just like day 1, day 2. That's good. We're already struggling for res. Well, we're not struggling for res, but we're getting really greedy on like how we get our res to begin with. So rougher. How about when I didn't case build? Yeah, thank you for actually bringing that up, because I would have completely forgotten that you can get. I didn't even know you can get full on hit there. Just health roll on a ring. It's a lot easier, but you get the blessing. Yeah, yeah. I did that. We definitely do that. It's just like again, we do that later. I like that. That's a good optimization. Is there a time route blessing? I don't believe. That'd be weird if there's a time route blessing, given it's basically Void Knight only. No. Yeah, I don't think there is. There's nothing for attack speed or cast speed, so yeah, I guess like all we would do is we would grab the slow blessing, and then we swap one of our slow idols back to a timeout idol. Back here. Anomaly leveled. I'm gonna try to put it quickly. CDR, and the more CDR you get, like the build becomes like the way the build kind of comes online is by getting CDR. So once you pick up like all the CDR from anomaly, so you have 100% anomaly uptime. Once you get CDR, like a big CDR roll on your belt, on your boots, and then once you grab like a few more other passive points, that's when like the build truly fully comes online, right? Like once you get more dev orbs. Which one is it? I think it's this one. I think it's this one. This is rippy as shit. This? Yeah, it's this one. Oh, ow. 7. Numlock, yes. I have a numlock because again, I'm playing in season 1 and I have to, right? When season 2 comes by, you will not have to do this. Because I am playing in season 1, I have to. Rip, yeah, I know cold res. Oh well. Yeah, Ring of Ascendance, let's keep going. Damage over time, attunement. Well, if I was 45, I'd put those on because I get some cold res on that, which would be nice. Void Shred and Black Sun instead of Void Damage. We don't need it. Anomaly or Apply Shred. For mapping, it's not going to be relevant. We're going to kill everything in half a second anyways. And for bosses, Anomaly keeps, I believe it keeps full Void Red Shred stacks on its own. No need.
Stand down and die.
Change to your mana stacking meter 1.0. I've not updated the guide. I don't have any intention to update the guide. I believe they nerfed a few nodes from it, so it's a little bit squishier, but sorry, they nerfed like, yeah, they nerfed like 1 or 2 like early nodes that you relied on, but it otherwise basically work exactly the same. It'll just be a little bit weaker this season. That's all. Right. We have like 2 more zones to go through, and we are done. Chills as well. See, this is why I want. This is why I'm like simping so hard for getting the 50% reduced chill effect on the passive tree. Like, you don't know how good reduced chill effect is until you have the reduced chill effect, or you're immune to chills. And then like once you play a build where you're like immune to chills or you have reduced chill effect, and then you swap the build that doesn't, you're immediately in pain. Right? Like it's like one of those things that like you can't play. It's like ailment immunity. Like imagine getting ailment immunity for the first time PoE 1. You get addicted to it. You literally can never play the game without it anymore. That's how it is in oh, I have 2 points. Guess I just pick up blinding foot, whatever. Up this guy so he can come with us and help us. Very a little bit easier. Almost done. this zone, one more, and then we're done. And then we get to monoliths. And then monoliths, like, yeah, like the fact that I have like 0 cold res is going to be a little bit painful in some areas. My first priority in monoliths would be to immediately get some cold res, but you know, like this act is themed around cold, right? So obviously almost every monster in here is going to be cold based. Once I get to monoliths, this is not going to be as bad, given that, you know, not every single monster is going to do cold damage. So, you know, it actually becomes a lot easier not being cold risk capped once we get there. For now, I just have to be a little bit careful. Oh, inflation. Oh, there we go. The cold res boots base, but can't put them on. No CDR. Yeah, losing a CDR on my boots is kind of big. So whatever, we'll just play without them. It's fine. Whatever. Ow. Yeah, like once we get a few more anomaly levels and get like the leech nodes and everything comes online, given that the leech from anomaly is global, it will work on your time rod. Meaning you have insane life recovery. Like, and in PoE, there's no leech cap. Meaning if you have 10,000 different things that all did damage that generated a leech, all 10,000 leeches will heal at the same time. The more damage you do, the more you leech. It is literally just better. You know what? Let's pick up a little bit of leech, I guess. Sure. Why not? Instead of picking up a immediacy. Alright, final challenge. The third hardest boss in the game. Because the boss will one-shot you if he does his avalanche, so you have to be really careful here. Oof. Okay, we move out of that, and then we can't get hit by those. Yeah, you will dodge that. That is just dead. But as long as we can dodge that, the rest of the boss is pretty easy. We just have to be careful because I have no cold res. He's gonna probably do it 1 or 2 more times. Oh, just again. Yeah, you just have to be very careful of that ability. That ability does way too much damage. Probably gonna do it again here in a second. Yep. Dodge. Kill these just to be safe. I'm gonna play really. I don't wanna fight the boss again because this boss, if you die, you have to restart it from scratch because it's the act boss. Oh, I do thing. I'm just gonna be careful because I have no res. If you had res, you could disrespect the Shadow's boss. Right? You got like 50, 60 cold res. Yeah, just disrespect him. Disrespect the ever-living fuck out of him. Alright. And there we go. He did it. That's it. You know. Anything useful here? Nope. Do this. Get the lands. Talk to this guy. Get that. Go to town. We turn this quest in. And that's it. We are in monoliths. Cool. Alright. So, go over here. Turn this in. And we are done.
If to be honest, I can't
There you go.
imagine it.
We now have
But I will take
all
your
idle
warnings
slots,
to
all
heart.
passive points. We're done. So, let's quickly go over what you want to do from now on, and then we'll end the leveling run there. So, from here, you theoretically would want to go to Temida, right, and do that, and then, like, do this place, and then, you know, eventually get over to Majelka and progress through all this, because you want to get to Act 9 to get to your item factions. For the people who don't know what item factions are, they are this game's choice in terms of how you want to experience the game. If you want to play trade, and if you want to use the auction house, and if you want gold to be the main way that you experience the game, then you join the Merchants Guild. And then progressing through the Merchants Guild is going to give you access to the auction house, and it's going to allow you to, trade more things on it. If you want to play SSF and do everything on your own, then you join the Circle of Fortune. The Circle of Fortune, literally for joining it, gives you 35% more loots, right? 35% chance for double loot off of every enemy you kill. The point is, the game is so well balanced to where there's basically no difference between Merchants Guild and Circle of Fortune. Just play whatever seems fun to you. Some content creators are going to tell you either or, pick this, pick that. Don't. Pick whatever you want to. They're just wrong. Pick whatever you want to. Have a good time in either or. If I were to give you a little bit of a recommendation, I would probably recommend Circle of Fortune. I'm not going to tell you to do it, but I would recommend it. Simply because picking Circle of Fortune makes you experience the whole game. With Merchants Guild, all you care about is whatever gives you the most gold per hour, right? You're never going to do dungeons. You never do half the content in the game. You're just going to sit there and do whatever. While with Circle of Fortune, well, you're going to want to do dungeons. You're going to want to interact with exiled mages, with champions, with arena, with everything, right? The point is this makes you play the game, so it allows you to learn the game a little bit better, right? That's my spiel on it. Pick whichever one you want, right? Ignore me, right? Don't do what I say. Ignore my advice. Do whatever you want. Right? You want to trade. You want to do SSF, SSF. They're literally the same. You can learn the game just fine playing Merchants Guild. Again, do whatever you want to. But the point is, to join these factions, You have to get to Act 9. You have to get to Majelka. And once you get to Majelka Upper District, you can go and join a faction. You can swap between factions as much as you want to. So if you don't like playing SSF and you want to play Merchants Guild instead, you can swap as much as you want to. This account is, this progression is account-wide for the season. So if you make a new character and you already are progressing Circle of Fortune, you can join Circle of Fortune on that character. And that character can also help you progress, right? Or if you want to have one character in each or whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. Progression is always saved. And you can swap as much as you want to, no restrictions. But the point is, that's the only reason we'd want to actually do the story to get, that unlocked. Now, well, you could do that. It's going to take you another 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Plus, you have to fight Lagon, which is one of the worst bosses in the game. You really don't want to. What we're going to instead do is we're going to go into the end of time and start doing Endgame. What we're then going to do in the Endgame is we're going to progress through it until we get a Temporal Sanctum key, right? This character is pretty much ready to go, right? I would just immediately go to show you how to start Endgame. We go to Endgame. We go to the town. And very quickly, one second. We go over here to the right, and we simply enter the end game by going to the Monolith of Faith. From here, there's different islands to progress through. You're going to start in Fall of the Outcasts, and quick TLDR is, hold up once we get in here. Okay, so we're going to be in Fall of the Outcasts. We got to go across this bridge really quickly, and you get a waypoint here, so you don't have to spend ever again. But here, quick TLDR of what your goal is you're going to interact with this thing. This is the Echo Web. You can go in any direction you want to. There's different rewards. For example, you can get XP, you can get gold, here's crafting mats. And as you complete these, you get stability. You're then want to do the side quests. And then once you fill up the stability bar, you can fight the boss. Once you fight the boss, the zone is effectively marked as complete. And you can move on to either Stolen Lands or Black Sun. Your end game goal to begin with is to get to top and do Spirits of Fire, Last Ruin, and Age of Winter. Then you go to the middle island here and then unlock Empowered Monoliths, which is where the true end game starts. And it sets every zone to 100. For example, this is level 58. I'll be able to set the zone to level 100, so this becomes an end game zone. From here, you should be able to progress the build just fine. You have literally 0 issues. You have a great time. You should have no problems at all. I'm going to now swap over to a different character to quickly show you what you're going to do from there, and we'll call the VOD there. So let me grab a new character really quick. We'll go on the Falconeer. So you're gonna progress through those monoliths. You're gonna have a good time. Don't worry about anything else, right? Just progress and kill mobs. Get loots, upgrade your loots, and do all that. Again, you're gonna be doing that until you specifically get a Temporal Sanctum key, which I'll go over here in a second. Right, you're gonna do that until you grab yourself one of these. And this can drop anywhere, and this could take you a few hours. It could take you, like 30 minutes. You can get one off your first enemy. Who knows? But you're gonna get a Temporal Sanctum key. Now, what I would recommend for a Temporal Sanctum run is if you are a little bit worried. I literally have a whole guide in the written guide. I've took the time and effort to literally sit here and give you a mini guide at level 50 on how to do Temporal Sanctum. I discuss the boss and like the main mechanics that you care about. We'll show in the video here too. But the TLDR is if you can basically kind of do this immediately if you want to, because Temporal Sanctum is what? Let's see, what level is Temporal? I think it's like 45, so it should be pretty easy. But if you're afraid of getting killed by the boss, because if you die, you lose the run and you have to get a new key, get to level 70, 75, and then do it then. Again, it doesn't matter if you have to delay it by that much. It's completely okay. What's level? It is level, it's level 55. Yeah, so if you're afraid, just wait until level 70, 75-ish, and it should be pretty damn easy. Shouldn't be too much of a difficulty. Anyways, let's do a Temporal Sanctum run really quickly to showcase exactly what would happen and go from there. So, at this point, you have... At this point, you have played through maps for a while, and you got a bunch of upgrades, and, did a bunch of progression, and, you finally got yourself your Temporal Sanctum key. You then come into Temporal Sanctum, and your goal here is to simply run to Temporal Sanctum and get to the end of it, right? It's going to have multiple floors that we want to get through, and once we get to the bottom of it, we'll be able to fight the boss. The main gimmick of Temporal Sanctum, as you can see, is swapping between the future and the past. But it's like every dungeon has its own gimmick, and for the gimmick, you just press D. So, pressing D swaps between each as much as I want to. As you can see, some gates, like for example here, the gate is closed. For example, the gate also here is closed. But the point is, it's kind of a maze. You kind of have to make your way through it, right? Find your way through all this shit. And eventually, you'll get to a door, go into the next room, and then we just have to do the same thing again. Go back in the future, open the door, go to the next zone. Right, sorry, you can respawn by spending a key, I guess. So sure, you get multiple keys if you're really afraid, but you have to fight the boss from full health. Alright, so floor 1 done. Then we go into floor 2.
Manipulating time.
And again, same thing, right? We just have to get to the end, and then once we get to the end, we can fight the boss. And we'll go over the boss really quickly, what the ability does, what's scary about it, and whatnot. I'll give you a quick tutorial. Just so you like, have all the info that you might need to be able to do this. Although I think my Falcon's gonna fucking two-tap Julia, which is a problem. There's nothing I can do about that. Unfortunately. Alright, we'll see. We'll do our best. So, once we finish up the second floor, we're now at the end, and it's time to fight the boss. So, the biggest... one sec, I guess let me... What is my minion key? I need to spam, tell my Falcon to not kill the boss in 2 hits. One sec. So we can showcase the mechanics. Hold up. Impa key is... where is it? Minion. Like, force minion move. Where's the top? Am I blind? Hold up. I'm blind. Main attack command. Okay, let me set this down. Oh, L. A? Nope, K isn't used. Tilda? Tilda. Okay, cool. Right, I can tell my Falcon to sit in a corner and not fucking attack the boss. Okay, so this is Julia. So the biggest thing about Julia is she's gonna pretty heavily make use of the, time swapping mechanic. The biggest thing that you have to pay attention to is when she does a big expanding AoE that encompasses the whole room, where you have to swap zones and wait for the boss to come to you, because if you get hit by it, it's just a one-shot. Outside of that, there's going to be a spinny laser beam, some gaps that you have to stand the gaps. She's going to do a frontal. And most importantly, every time you swap zones, she's going to put a circle under you that will detonate after a few seconds and leave a puddle behind. You want to put that puddle in a good place so you don't lose your space. All right, let's go fight the boss, and you can see exactly what it does. So, whoops. Nope. Stop. Shut. Nope. Okay, this is the ability. You time swap, and then you stay here. Go to wall, and we just wait, and then we drop the puddle, and then we go fight the boss, right? She spawns, there's a frontal, she spawns these pillars, which heal the boss, and then here's a spinny beam, and then that's it, right? Just fight the boss, right? She will, do a slam, move out of the slam, do a frontal, move out of the frontal, dodge the beams, another slam. The ability, you have a long-ass time to swap, go to a wall, wait for the dots, put the dot in a good place, dodge the frontal, beams. She's going to spawn like the healing thing again, which we might want to swap and deal with. Just hit the boss, deal with the abilities. Basically, take your time. Maybe take your time with the abilities. You'll have a really good, pretty easy, right? Make sure you Void Risk Cap for her, because you will die if you don't have Void Risk Cap. Here's the thing again. We swap here and we wait. That's it. That's the whole boss fight, right? So, take your time with it. And then once you kill the boss, right? If we quickly kill her, you'll then get access to the room over here. This is where we do LP stuff. Don't worry about this. You can ignore this. But the point is, you have to click on this to open the door, right? You can't do it in like the void time. You have to come to like the pretty time. Click on it, opens the door. And then once you go through the back of the dungeon over here, you get spat outs in the Radiant Dunes, which, as you can see, is conveniently right before Majelka. So, very quickly, we just have to run through the zone. There's a quick side quest we have to do here where we have to rescue a guard, which is, I think, like over here. Nope, it's the other way around. Go down. Run this way. And you have to fight a quick mini-boss. And again, you'll be level 70 at this point. This level 50 area, it'll be a joke. You don't have to worry about this. It's all trivial content at this point. Okay, over here, there's a little mini-boss. We kill the mini-boss. We rescue the guard. We kill this guy. Then rescue this guy. Talk to him.
I can't complain about that offer.
And then that's it. You have your faction lock.
The scale bend was never meant to be common. The scale bend used these to stage a
Have to make it town. And there's nothing else you have to do in town. Just ignore everything else. Almost there. I love a character. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and farm a key for 2 hours. That was a account found character, so I didn't have access to any of my crafting fragments, right? So I play as if it was the start of a season. Anyways, Get to Majelka, you walk across ARAM because for some reason the devs really like ARAM. They decided to put ARAM into the fucking game, so quickly go through ARAM, you know, run it down mid. Take 8 years. Then take 9 years. And like, why is this so long? Anyways, get to the waypoints, and then you go to the left. Over here. Oh, ARAM part 2. Anyways, you come up here into the upper district. And then right here is where the faction leaders are going to be. And you get to choose whichever faction you want to be a part of. Once you do that, if you join Merchants Guild, I think it's right here. This is where the bazaar is. No, that's the observatory. That's where Circle of Fortune. If you join Merchants Guild, over here is the auction house on the left. And then do make sure to go inside because you need to unlock your waypoints. So, you know, if I join Circle of Fortune, quickly go inside the observatory. And then quickly go up the stairs. God, the observatory is so pretty as well. It's like my favorite zone in the game. That unlock the waypoints, and then I don't know, go stand over here and go do some sightseeing because this place, what happened there? Observatory is pretty. Anyways, that's it. We did it. So TLDR, right? Go and level, get to monoliths, keep progressing. If you're really afraid of Temporal Sanctum, wait until level 70 plus. This should be pretty easy. Do that. Get to Majelka, your faction. Done. That took us what, like 3 hours ish, which is pretty good. That's pretty fast, I would say, especially given we stopped a lot, talked a lot, showcased a lot of stuff, right? Fastest, but that's still a really fast run for most people. So yeah, hopefully this helps you level, right? Hope you have fun with it. And yeah, see you kitties on Leave Launch.